Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome guys. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Reminder, today's US CPI, red folders at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So could get pretty volatile. They're inflation numbers. So just again, please trade with proper risk management, and we'll go through all the news. We'll go through COMEX, and then we'll work our way into Wall Street. So we'll get started in a couple minutes. Hope everyone's having a great day, and you got lots of coffee and ready to go.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Recording in progress.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to Stocks Network Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. Good morning to everybody. It is almost 7 a.m. Eastern, and it is Tuesday, August 12th. So thanks everyone for joining. Today's a big day in the markets this week. We have CPI, red folder news, in about 90 minutes at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So just a reminder, 8:20 is when gold COMEX market opens up. 10 minutes later, we have that high impact red folder news. CPI is consumer pricing, aka also known as inflation numbers coming out. So please trade with proper risk management. That's up to you guys, how much you're willing to risk, and trading through that news. We'll do all of our analysis prior to them releasing the news. We'll see how the markets move with the news, and we'll see how everything develops after they release the news. Okay, just putting it out there, it could be volatile. So if you are a beginner or new to trading or don't have the experience trading these high impact folders, I would stress just taking it easy and not doing anything you might regret later on. Okay. This will directly impact the US dollar, which will possibly impact everything that we're trading, whether it's gold, whether it's NASDAQ, whether it's Dow Jones, whether it's GBP USD, or it's crude oil. Anything that affects the US dollar could have impact for every other security you're trading, okay? And so let's just go over some quick news, and then we'll get right into the charts, okay? So just starting off with today's news. we had a lot just after midnight tonight. We had a lot coming out of Australia, a lot of high impact news coming out of Australia. You can see the 4 red folders. It's very similar to when we have an FOMC here in North America. That's basically their FOMC. So they had their cash rate, their overnight lend rate. It was previous 3.85. They were forecasting a decrease of 25 basis points, and they did decrease. So interest rates are going down in Australia. And they also had the monetary policy statement, the rate statement, and then finally, 1 hour later, they had their press conference. Okay, so that's already gone by. Then we walked into pre-London right over here at 2 a.m. Eastern, and a lot of British news affecting the British pound. We had average earnings index. We had the claimant count change, and we also had the UK unemployment rate. It's coming in at 4.7%. But over here, you can read, there's like the hot story over here. So the labor market overview in the UK for August 2025. Estimates for payrolled employees in the UK fell by $149,000, 0.5% between June 2024 and June 2025. So over a year, payroll jobs dropped by 150,000 and by 26,000 between May and June. So that's previous month. Declining payrolled employees. So it's not just UK, it's like this globally around the world. When looking at April to June 2025, the period comparable with our labor force survey, estimates payrolled employees fell by 110,000 over the year. And so if you want to read up on that article, it's right there. Again, if you're a forex trader and you're trading the pound, I would be looking into that because that could dictate the way how the pound moves in the next little bit. Okay. And then we're moving into, once we got through those London news, then we walked into 3 a.m. is the London market open, and it's the London exchange, and then we're getting into 5 a.m. And then now we're moving into our North American news over here. So it's going to pick up at 8:30. We have these 3 US red high impact folders. We're going to start off with core CPI month over month. So again, this is the actual number that will come out is the actual number of, let's read it. What is core? So it's a change in pricing goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. So this will be a reading. We'll get a number, a percentage, and it will be everything excluding food and energy. Food and energy are pretty much two of the biggest things that we purchase and what we put our money on. So we'll see everything excluding that. We'll come out with a number. Well, then this one, the CPI month over month, is the reading which includes food and energy. So this is analysts put more attention on this one as well because it does include two of the biggest purchases, food and energy over here. So we'll see what the actual number is. Why do we care? Consumer prices account for the majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead to central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for the inflation containment mandate. So everything that's going on with the U.S. with Donald Trump and Powell with the rate cuts, he's pushing for rate cuts. Powell has been saying, I'd like to see what the payroll numbers are, the job numbers, and also inflation and how the tariffs will affect the market. So right now, they have not dropped the interest rates. We'll see. Analysts have been saying that September could see a rate decrease, but now they're kind of changing that. So I think they want to see how these CPI numbers are going to come out today. And then you got the big reading, the year over year. So CPI this time last year was sitting at 2.7. They're forecasting an increase in the CPI over here, and we'll see what the actual number is year over year. You got your month over month, then you got your core excluding food and energy. Okay, and those are big red folders, high impact, coming all out at 8:30. Again, whenever we're trading high impact news, you should be using proper risk management due to volatility. Okay, and then we do have some. We will move into Wall Street, and then there is some FOMC members speaking today. And then later we'll have our federal budget balance in the U.S. at 2 p.m. And then market closes, and then we go into after hours and futures market open. Okay, so that's what we got going on. When the numbers are released, we'll see them over here on the left on Financial Juice. and we'll see how everything moves. Okay. So that's the news for today. Earnings. There's always earnings in the pre-market and after hours. Today's earnings pre-market, some have already reported, and others are coming up very soon. So we had a few over here. Again, I'm looking for those big names. I don't see any big names that are directly going to impact S&P, NASDAQ, or Dow Jones. So if I'm not individually trading these companies by buying shares of the company or through the options, I'm not too concerned on these companies. In the after hours, let's see if there's any big names today in the after hours. Again, I'm looking for those names that are, considerable names that we are familiar with, that affect the way how NASDAQ, S&P, or Dow move. I don't see these to really impact any of those indices. Okay, so if you are trading, just pay attention to these. You can, there's a lot of companies that release earnings on a daily basis. So you can see I'm just scrolling down and there's a lot of them. Okay. The stock market has a lot of securities, it's not just Dow Jones and S&P and NASDAQ. There's a lot of individual securities there that are available for trade. Okay, and then just some news right now. So this is what's coming in just a little bit. The July inflation report expected to show prices accelerated. Okay, so remember, this is previous month. Okay, so all of this data that's going to be released is from the month of July. Okay, leading up till today, and inflation report is expected to show prices accelerated. I don't know about you, but I go to my grocery store and things have not really came down. And again, I live in Canada. I don't live in the United States, so I cannot speak for the United States. I'm speaking for myself here in Canada. But things have increased, okay? Yes, there could be a slight... Okay, guys, and let me just word this correctly so that we can understand. When securities hit all-time highs, for example, NASDAQ hit all-time high, and it's corrected since the all-time high. Some people say the market is crashing when they see it moving off of the all-time high and it's, like a weekly downtrend. Okay, and then analysts are saying the market is crashing. Oh my God, it's doomsday. The market is crashing. But all it's doing is it's retracing from the all-time high. If we look at where it is still making a higher low from previous. So some analysts say it's still in an uptrend and we're still moving. The price has dropped, but it's still higher than has been before. So the same thing with inflation. Donald Trump and his staff might say prices have gone down, like prices of eggs, for example. That's what the picture is showing here. Prices of eggs have gone down, but they're still higher than they were months ago. Okay. Yes, maybe they've came down from their extreme highs, but they're still maybe $4 for a dozen, where prior they were like $2 a dozen, but they were as high as $6. So they've came off of all-time highs, which is they are lower. It's a fact. They are lower than the all-time high, but they're still higher than what they've been before. Okay. So that's where sometimes analysts and things, they trick us. Okay. So we got to be smarter than that. So you got to understand that, yes, maybe prices of eggs have come down from the all-time highs, but they're still expensive. They're still higher than what they normally would be. Okay. So that's one way to look at inflation numbers when they release these. Some traders don't even look at these numbers. I'll be honest. Some traders don't even look at these, don't even care about these numbers. They're just looking at the charts, following price action. Okay. But whatever, just be careful here. The latest CPI report is expected to show a quicker rise in prices than in June as investors monitor the impact of tariffs. Okay. So also tariffs impact all of these things. So we'll see in the next few months how these tariffs are going to affect all of these goods that we purchase. Okay. The tariffs are kicking in right now. So time will tell how these affect the prices of things that you and I purchase. Stock futures hold steady as Wall Street braces for today's July inflation report. Trump grants 90-day extension on the harshest China tariffs. So again, he's giving an extension over here on China. I think China is the one that he doesn't want to go too hard on because we import a lot of things from China in all of our stores. So, you got to be careful with that tariff over there. Let's see what else we got going over here. This is big, guys. Media musical chairs are reshaping the sports of landscaping. We were talking about UFC next week with Hamzat against Duplessis, but they made a big deal. UFC, you know how we have to pay for pay-per-view events? Now they're going on to Paramount Plus. So it's kind of like they're taking over a $6 or $7 billion deal where they will be streaming all of the pay-per-view events under their subscription. So there's no longer, guys, buying pay-per-view or using your streaming or whatever. Paramount is taking over them, just like how Netflix is slowly taking over a few things, and like WWE, the wrestling, and now UFC, guys. So if you didn't hear about it, that's in the news. Big deal too, $7 billion. It's worth more than the market cap of Paramount actually. So it's a big investment for them. So this is what we got going on in news. Intel stock rises after Trump praises CEO's amazing story. So it's unbelievable how Trump can praise a corporation and it moves up 3.5%. So I'm sure Trump and his cronies are in on this. Maybe they bought a few shares of this company prior to Trump saying it's an amazing story. I'm sure he's making some money behind the scenes that you and I aren't privy to see, but I'm pretty sure that that's what they're doing. He's making his himself and his family pretty wealthy through all of this. I'm sure of that. What else is going on here? Jobs data triggered Trump, but Fed officials saw it not as rigged, but as reason to cut. So lots of articles over here. Wall Street futures steady as investors brace for crucial inflation data. So that's today. What else we got? Oil steadies in thin summer trading ahead of Trump-Putin meeting. So that's to come very, very soon. Right now in the U.S. futures, very flat markets. S&P futures are up 0.01. So it's basically break even right now. Dow not doing anything. NASDAQ not doing anything. Pretty slow markets today, guys. So if you have been trading, things have probably been consolidating in anticipation of the news in about an hour. Okay, so that's what we got coming up. We got to brace ourselves for that. We got to prepare for that. Guys, just some signals over here. There was a signal over here to buy US 30 yesterday. This is on the 15-minute time frame. We were looking for buys above 44,050, above that 44,000 psychological number, and there was a move that scaled down and pushed up right there. So that was US 30. Gold, we'll see if we get any signals. Already in a sell from 3350, pushing down. Gold news. Gold is currently experiencing minimal price movement with a slight increase over the last 24 hours. Given the stability of price of gold, investors may find comfort in its safe haven status during uncertain times. However, the lack of significant price movement could indicate a lack of strong buying or selling pressure in the market. So relating to gold, there was Trump was saying that he wants to tariff Switzerland with the 1 kilo bars of bullion. He took that off the table. So again, I don't know why this guy does this. One day he says this. He says he's going to tariff Switzerland, and then next day he changes his mind. Same with China. He threatens them with harsh tariffs, and then he gives them a 90-day delay. This disrupts the supply chain of everything globally, and it creates uncertainty and creates volatility. Like, I'm a person, if you're going to say it, do it. Stop trying to scare the markets, but that's his tactic, and that's his negotiations, and that's the way how he does his art of the deal. I don't think it's helping anything. It's just making matters worse, and you're making a lot of investors not willing to invest with this type of behavior. Okay, so if you're going to do it, do it. Like, stop just saying this and then next day saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it," this and that. I don't know. I'm not Mr. Trump and I don't run the United States, but you're creating a lot of uncertainty around the world, okay? And if you want to alienate yourself from other countries, that's fine. You know, I'm sure that other countries will find other trading partners and go on with life. You know, not everyone's going to sit back and just rely on you for everything. So that's his tactic. That's the way how he operates. Time will tell if it's maybe I'll stick my foot in my mouth and I'll eat all the words I'm saying. But for now, it's hasn't really done anything. All it is the consumers of the United States will be eating up those tariffs, and you will be paying for it. And he'll be gloating that he's bringing in a lot of U.S. dollars into the country, but actually the citizens are paying for it. So we'll see. I'm sitting back. I'm eating my popcorn, watching this. Okay, guys. So we'll see what's happening in the markets when we get to gold, NASDAQ, and US 30 today. Right now, this is a free Telegram group for all of you guys on YouTube over here. You get our live trading links over here. Some news over here. There's our US red folder news, core inflation rates. We got the core, we got the regular, and the year over year. Some setups from yesterday, our trade ideas and setups, and some reading material, weekly outlooks, and other blogs are all available here. Okay, so that's the free Telegram. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. Please join it. There is some fake ones out there. There is scammers. I just want to say to everybody on this call, on YouTube, on Telegram, on Discord, on Zoom, Dave and I will never ever message you. We'll message you and say, hey, how are you doing? And things like that. If we know you and you know us, we'll message you through Discord, but we'll never message you guys asking you guys for money. Okay. Even if we're in a tough situation and Dave and I are struggling, we have pride. I don't think we'll be asking you guys for money. Okay. So if we're ever asking you guys for money we'll invest your money for you guys and we'll give you guys 100% return in the next day, it's BS, guys. Okay. So stop falling for that. We've had one sniper in our group who fell for that and he lost $1,000. They scammed him through crypto. So please, guys, do not fall for it. Just read the name. You'll see Stock Sniper Trading. They'll have they'll have one misspelling. They'll have 3 A's in the word trading. Just look at it and they are scammers. Okay. If you have any doubts or questions, send Dave and I a message and we'll clarify it for you guys. Okay. This goes to everybody. Please, guys. We will never do that. Okay. This is where you can contact us on the website. You can send us an email. But if you want to join the trading team here at SST, not a fake trading team, the real team here, we'd love to have you guys. Lots of education over here with myself and Dave, courses, everything we talk about. There's long form boot camps, long form webinars, and everything else we do here at SST. We'll be doing a lot more education wise coming in the fall, coming in the next less than 1 month, starting September, when my kids go back to school and the summer ends over here. I will be doing a lot more education with you guys. Right now it's the summer month, so I like to enjoy the summer and the weekends and things like that, but we'll get right back into this, okay? We have a lot of live sessions throughout the day and also our free blog available to all of everybody. There is some blogs that are members only for the weekly outlooks and other blogs, but everything else is available to everybody. Okay, so let's get started, guys. We're going to get started with gold, okay, and see how gold is moving. 1 hour from now will be 8:20, will be the COMEX market open. That's the commodities exchange. So that's a direct exchange opening up for traders of gold, silver, and other metals. So a lot of volume will come in at that time. And then 10 minutes later, we do have the US CPI news, okay? So it's going to get volatile around 8:15 to 8:45, I would say. That 30-minute window, we'll see some volatility. Again, prior to going in, do you want to be in a trade prior to them for that exchange opening up and releasing the news? Maybe you know something that I don't know or whatever it is. Just if you get into trade, use proper risk management. Other traders might be waiting for all the news to be released and then initiate trading. Okay, everyone has their own rules. Everyone does everything different. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. You do your job the way how you want. All I'm here to do is just to keep reminding you, use proper risk management. Okay, there's going to be someone that's going to obviously blow up their account on this call. It happens every red folders whenever there is. So again, what can we do? There was a sniper I was reading yesterday on YouTube. I always on Friday always mention when you're going into the weekends, always know your risk going into the weekend, because you don't know how markets will open up Monday morning, and they blew up their account over the weekend. They hedged heavy, and the security they were trading went opposite direction. They had no control over the weekend. When the markets opened up, they blew their account. Okay, so I know what happens. I know no one listens to what I say, so I keep repeating myself, but if nobody wants to listen, I don't know what else to say or do anymore. Okay, so let's get into gold. We're going to start off with a top down. Right now, it's kind of breaking down. You can see where these wicks were, like right around here, 3,342, I would say. You can see how it was holding support. It was holding just now when we started the call at 7, but right now it's continuing to break down. So it is making a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a new lower low. Possibly might pull back right into, I would say, around here, this 3,344, 43, 42 area, and that could be resistance going forward. And again, if it pulls back up, might trade into resistance and continue pushing down. So that's just right now looking at it on the 5 minutes. Again, we haven't done any top-down analysis. That's where we're going to start. But prior to doing that, I just want to welcome everybody. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Nigel, good morning. Thank you for joining. Christoph, Red Clues, welcome. Good morning. Sergio, DCY, you call me uncle, I call you nephew. Welcome, DCY. Welcome to, hope you're having a great day today. Lady Stone, Mike, welcome. Zanetta, thank you for joining. Lorraine, Daniela, Sang, Samuel, welcome, guys. Conrad, Vanita, Dale, welcome, guys. Yeah, Christoph, always good listening to that advice. You know, I wish someone was in my ear every single day when I was struggling and I was over leveraging and I was trading stupid over the weekends and trading into high impact news every single day. No one was there telling me, Ron, don't do this, don't do this, reminder. So I want to be there always, every single day, reminding you guys, just a gentle reminder, just to think about that. You know, I'm not telling you guys how to trade. I'm just telling you guys to consider that. You know how hard it is, how much work we put into these markets on a daily basis. After 1 week, after 1 month, 2 months, you might start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're compounding that account and you're growing it and you're gaining confidence and you're getting excited. And in one day, one silly day, you lose control and you give it all back. And it's hard to recover from that. So that's all I'm trying to say, guys. If you get the ball rolling, I just want to keep you guys focused and not give it back. Okay. That's how you can grow the account and really learn the experience how to do this, and then get your daily goals and get out of these markets. Okay. And everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining as well. Good morning. Red Clues, thank you for joining as well on YouTube. I appreciate you, man. Concentrate on your trading too. I'll concentrate on the chat and everything like that. Casanova, good morning. Conan, TraderBit, welcome. Yeah, it's disappointing. We got 189 people and there's only 15 likes on the call. What are you going to do? I don't know. I don't want to say anything about that, but hopefully right now, guys, you guys can hit the like button. We almost have 200 viewers, and now we're going to start getting into the charts, okay? So good morning, everyone. And if I missed you guys on YouTube, just, again, trade with proper risk management, and thank you guys for joining. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications. Let's get into the charts now. I'm going to start off on the daily, just to give everyone a good update on the daily of what's going on. Okay, so just a quick update. Armand, Mirminjes, Sie kalon, Sie familien. Okay, so right over here we do have this zone. Okay, right off of the all-time high. Okay, so I mark it red because it's resistance, and then we turned into a double top. Same zone turned into a triple top. Same zone turned into a quad top. I think we just made that up, quadruple top. And then we came into a fifth top. What is that? What's a fifth top? Quad? What's that? Is it, I don't know. We got a double top, triple top, quad top. What's when it's 5 tops? What's the word? Who knows what it is? Hexa? No, that's 6. Pentatop? Penta is 5. Hexa is 6. Octa is 8. Septa is 7. And is it a quintuplet? Is that what it is? Maybe. But we'll figure it out. Okay, so let's also mark the all-time high. 3,500. We haven't came back up to it, so we all know it's sitting up there. Since then, it's been making lower highs from the all-time high. We're below this red zone. We traded in it yesterday. See the big bearish candle coming out. So that's what I was saying. That gentleman went big on gold over the weekend on Friday and had no control. And then yesterday's big candle blew his account. So, those things are always, you got to consider those things. If you're holding a trade over the weekend in any security, you got to think of your risk, because you can't really control what the market does over the weekend. All you can do is control your risk, right? Okay, so you see here how I now figured out this bullish flag pattern. We talk about this on a daily basis. The second bar right here was the one that kind of closed above. So that nice point of control fair value gap, you can see we traded already back into it, and it was respected. That was from the all-time high where we came all the way down. That's like the most recent low, 3,120. And since then, it's been building its way back up. So this zone, this green zone, when I stretch it over into the future, you can see that we're kind of moving away from it. Okay. So this is where, I was talking about inflation, the way how they word it. Okay. So you see here, gold hit all-time high, 3,500. We are retracing down. Gold has not broken down. It's not the end of the world for gold. Yes, it is retracing. It is cooling off a little bit, but like just looking at today, there might be some analysts that are saying gold is crashing. Gold is moving from the all-time high. It's doomsday. Gold is going to just break down. But other analysts say, whoa, what are you talking about? It's just making a higher low from over here, where it was higher over here, and then it's higher over here. It's still in an uptrend. It really hasn't broken down. It is less expensive than it was before, but it is still holding good support, and it's still in an uptrend. Okay, so there's two ways how you look at this. I just kind of look at it with facts. I look at it from the all-time high. Its move, it came down, it cooled off, but then it picked up the support right here, and it came back up to that. It tried again to fill that all-time high wick, but this zone was more sellers. So that's what is a double top, and then they pushed it back down. We broke this supporting zone right there with that bar that came, and that's how we pushed down to that orange line. But that big body candle, that point of control, had a lot of buyers pending in there, and they brought it right back up, where we worked our way back up to, again, that third top. So you can see the buyers are pushing it up there, but we have a lot of selling pressure up here that is protecting that all-time high. Gold is still strong, but it just doesn't have that extra fuel to continue to drive it. It's currently building, and then the sellers brought it right back down, and you see a higher low. We didn't come into the green box, and then they worked their way back up multiple weeks, and we got right back up there again for that fourth time. And then the sellers over the weekend, the midweek switchover, brought it right back down. And again, we worked our way back up all last week, where we came into there and we closed on Friday and started this week. Monday, they brought it right back down. Okay. There was news over the weekend. Again, that Switzerland news that could have, created this. There could have been investors maybe getting out of gold. Just on news like that with Switzerland and the tariffs on the 1 kilo bullion bars. Just like that, a little news like that can change the markets. And then Trump says the next day, oh, I was just kidding. That's not happening. And then, see what I mean? You disrupt the order flow, supply chains of how things are moving. Words mean a lot, especially coming from the US president. So those things we can't control. What we can control is continuing to watch. Is it still above 50% of this big bullish bar on Friday, August 1st? This was NFP. Yes, it is technically. So it is still bullish in my opinion. Nothing has really broke down. If gold breaks down below here, if gold comes all the way and when we lose this orange line and we close below there, then this is going to become resistance. Then we can start maybe talking about bears are in control and losing this big support level. Then gold is dropping back down, retracing back down to 3,000, maybe to 2,800. Okay. But we're nowhere near that. So we don't need to entertain that idea right now. What we need to focus on is the structure that has already been built and what's already being respected in the markets. Okay, so number one, tweezer bottom lows on the daily. They're right here. These are significant points in the market when it came all the way down there. You see the market stopped right above that green box right here at 3,245. We came all the way back up, and I look at the next significant drop, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows on daily. Again, look at where it stopped, right at that yellow line again. So above the green box. So what that's telling me, depth of market is strong. Buyers are holding the market up, not allowing it to break down, strengthening it, and continuing to push it back up. But when we get back up here, we're not really, getting those buyers inside here to flip this zone. It's coming into them, but we don't have those buyers there. It is showing us heavy sellers in there, okay? And then again, they pushed it all the way right back down. Did we come down to this yellow line? No. We have now a point of interest on the daily right here where we got a body close, a body open, another body close, another open. So this area 3,273 to 75 is holding strong support and supporting the move back up. Okay, so now we see that we do have some big resistance in the red zone. We're not closing above it like we were on this day and on this day and on this day. What they're doing is they're lowering the offers. You can see it's right at the middle of the red box, like the psychological midpoint. Okay, so if I was to place a point of interest, I could place it at that body, at that body, at that body, around 3,397, or I could go all the way to the top of the wick and place it at 3,406. I'm going to keep it consistent with the bodies. I got a body there, a body there, a body there. I have a body over there. This looks kind of like just like a fake out then. It just drove and then closed back below and we're pushing back down. You can see a lot of retest of this yellow line back down, a retest right there of that yellow line right there. And on that day, again, this looks like a fake out where they faked it out. And then look at the multiple retests of that yellow line. So this is critical. 3,397 up to 3,400. I would say is a very, very psychological number there, okay? And then also this big body candle that drove us there last week, this was NFP Friday. So can we maybe figure out where 50% or the point of control where the buyers are of this? Let's figure that out. So let's not guess where 50% is. Let's be precise. Let's grab our Fibonacci tool from the opening of the closing of NFP Friday. Right here, this big blue candle. We can identify exactly where 0.5 is. Right there, 3,326. So there's 50%. I'm placing a yellow line. I can also find my bullish point of control zone. It's the one ratio above and one ratio below on the Fibonacci. Either situation, it might be at the 618 on the top for you. It depends if you have it reversed or not. It might be the 618 or the 382. And similar, the one below would either be the 382 or 618 for you. And then when we figure that out, let's bring it into the future. And you see today, I think today we might be driving into this. Look at today's candle. I'll dissect yesterday and today, but it looks like it's a bearish shooting star coming in here that maybe wants to transact in here. It might cut right through here. It might come in here and then CPI might bring it back up, but we may revisit this. The way how it's coming down with, again, yesterday's aggressive bearish volume looks high probability we're going to trade in here. So I have the yellow line right at 50%. That's 3,325. That's I know it's $15 away from where we are now. That's 150 pips, but news could bring that in there no problem. Okay. So let's now. Last week, we were in a little bit of an uptrend. We were making higher highs, higher lows, a new higher high, higher low. Friday pushed up and closed right there. So you see that body. And then yesterday we opened up there. You see when it came up for a new high, did it take out Friday's high? No, technically it's a lower high. And we had that big bearish volume come in and look how bearish it was coming all the way down. This was a point of interest right here. You got a body, multiple bodies here that are opening and closing. Let's place a yellow line right there, okay? Where this body on Wednesday closed, where Thursday opened up, and you see we broke right through it yesterday, and it continued to fill Wednesday's wick. It filled Tuesday's wick. It even filled Monday's wick and closed below. So it closed below yesterday, one elevator coming down, staircases going up all last week, and one day bar came down and engulfed basically everything and closed below. Okay, so very bearish yesterday on gold. If you were buying anything on gold, kind of like counter trading the big move, yeah, there was possible buys, but you had to really respect the highest time frame. And look at today now. Okay, so we closed near the lowest point yesterday, right there, and then there was a little bit of initial buying at the end. I would say we closed like 98% near the low. And then where we opened up right here, so there was no gaps, we were bullish today. Gold was coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. And look at where its high is, 3,357. That's our highest point of the day, purple line. And relative to yesterday's volume, okay, are we at the halfway point? Are we just at the next, making a shallow pullback at a lower high? If we want, we can identify where 50% of yesterday's volume is, find the bearish point of control. It's already printed, it's already closed. There's the open, there's the close of yesterday. You see where I have this yellow line right here? I placed it at that body, and you see right there, there's the 0.5, 3,369, and I have it placed at 3,368. So I'm off by 10 ticks, not much. If I want to make it exactly, just lift it right up, right there. Now you see how I'm exactly, my yellow line is right at yesterday's 50% volume right there. I could also find the 50% point of control if we trade back into here today. I can see that where it is, again, one notch above, right there. That's the bearish point of control of yesterday's volume. It's below our big all-time high supply block. So the sellers now point of control is here. We traded right up to there today. We did not transact all the way into that box. So sellers are there pushing it down. Okay. I'm not going to use this zone because it might confuse everybody. I'm just going to keep my bigger zone above me. If you want to place like points of interest, yellow lines at those critical areas, you're welcome to do that too. But it's for you, the way how you interpret the chart. Okay. So remember what I do is the way how I interpret the chart. Maybe you interpret it a little bit different than me. You're welcome to figure out what works for you. You don't have to kind of do what I do or what Dave does or what anybody else does. I'm just showing you points of control and points of interest. That's my job here. My job is not to continue to show you guys how to trade. You'll figure that out. But today when we came up, you can see it's a lower high below that point of control, what I just showed you. Okay, so sellers are there. They're offering. They're not even allowing it to come into that point of control. They're pushing it down. Today they came, they absorbed, engulfed all of those previous early buyers, and they came down. They broke yesterday's low. So we did create a new lower low today, and it's already right there. So you see our new lower low, 3,335.36. It's right above that green point of control. So we have not traded into here today. Maybe with the news, we will come in here. But right now there's buyers protecting this green zone. I can tell by the bottom wick coming right back up. So we're right back to the opening price. We'll see now the body just flipped blue. We'll see if it will drive right back up to maybe the highest point of the day. But again, if it can't get to the highest point of the day, what about halfway? What if it just gets halfway right here to 3,350? Again, we retest that nice psychological zone right there. Let's place a yellow line exactly at 3350.00, 3,500. And I can tell you that that's basically 50% probably exactly from the opening price to today's high. If you don't believe me, let's grab our Fibonacci and let's verify this. Right there, you see how exactly it's 50% from today's opening price to the highest point. There's 50%, 50% the white line. Look at how it's exactly at a wick right there, okay? So that's what I'm watching for. If it comes up, if the buyers bring it all the way back up where we are right now at 42.43, and they bring it back up 70 pips right up to there, maybe the sellers are now positioning themselves right there and ready to absorb them and push it back down. If the buyers can manage to get above that yellow line, then they have a high probability that they're going to possibly get back up to the highest point of the day and maybe push it back up to 3,369, or maybe at the bottom of that red box at 3,379. Okay. However, if the sellers come back in, and we don't have too much to go down to get to that lowest point of the day, and maybe we'll break into the green zone. Okay, today's candle is a very insignificant spin top. Right now, like it opened, it was bullish, it came back down bearish, now it's coming back up bullish with thin volume. Okay, waiting for that news in another hour. Okay, so that's what's going on the daily. I got some points of interest now. Now what I look at is for like patterns. I look for patterns. I can see this big weekly leg that came down. It stopped right there. We found the bottom. We had a strong weekly, 2-week uptrend coming right back up. So you see we're struggling to break up here. So there's our top. And then we had, again, another week coming down, 2 weeks downtrend, where look at where it found the bottom, double bottom, one bottom. There's, again, second bottom. So then we were coming up with NFP Friday, that big NFP candle. But when we were coming up here, did we come all the way? Did we create that double bottom W? And did we have that impulse breakout to the all-time high? No. You can see that they lowered it right in about 50% of the red zone, and they dropped it yesterday. So now we're coming into see if this point of control is going to be strong. If we lose NFP's point of control, then we might have that selling leg coming back down to here. And then you can see it's a lower high M pattern, and we break our support there. It might come down, maybe it break down there, cause a new lower low, come into that green box it has, and then the big buyers are in there. Okay, so that's what we could see if we don't hold this green zone. This might be inverted, right? Some of you guys trade with that inversions and ICT and SMT and Mickey Mouse theories. That might be your zone that you're watching to see if volume will break this, respect this. Will we come back up, or will we push back down? Okay, so that's what's going on pattern wise. We're still in an uptrend. Okay, so if any sellers of gold say gold is crashing, it's not crashing. We can't build at this all-time high supply zone. That's why it's all-time high supply. There is sellers there, but it's still, I will argue with them. We're still holding this point of control. We're still bullish here, making a higher low. We're still bullish here with volume making a higher low. We're still above this green block, and this is a higher low, and this is a higher low, and this is a higher low. So how is gold crashing? I was reading an article, it was by Bloomberg, and it was saying that gold is crashing. And I'm like, what? I had to read it 10 times to where are we crashing? I don't see any crash on gold. I see it retracing from the all-time highs. That's normal. But from the bottom depth of market, it is still currently building. So let's go from the daily now to the 4-hour. Okay, so what's going on the 4 hours? So we can now act as surgeons, and we can start to dissect daily candles and bring it now into smaller time frames. 4 hours is not a small time frame. It's just smaller than a daily. Now we're breaking it down. I can see how we were barcoding on Friday. Bearish 4-hour candle, bullish, then the bearish engulfing. So that's kind of, we were barcoding, but closed below. And then we had a little inside bar. And then again, they pushed it down Monday. That was pre-London. We came down, back up, came down, back up. Then they brought it right back down. We came back up and then brought it right back down, came up. So you can see it's kind of consolidating in this range. Again, but it is making lower lows and lower highs and new lower lows. So we're in a 4-hour downtrend, but we're still very, very strong off of this double bottom NFP move. Okay, so I can see that the 4-hour candle right now, a lot of indecision, still has 2 hours and 15 minutes to go. So definitely with indecision, we could come right back up with buyers, but we gotta, test this yellow line right here at 3,350. That's the highest point on our 4-hour candle, and it's still representing 50% of the previous 4-hour candle coming out of London. And there's our highest point of the day, and we just hit the lowest point of the day. Okay, so right now we are consolidating. It could be a bear flag. You see how we close below this structure right now? So we're flagging right now. If you want to consolidate all of that 4-hour volume, you can kind of do a consolidation just like this. And following that trend coming down, it's consolidating. That's a bear flag. A bear flag has a high probability of continuing to break down, but we're trading into this big bullish point of control from NFP. So we'll see if the buyers are here. If selling pressure is strong, maybe we'll cut right through here. Okay, if buyers are holding it up, we'll come right back up with a nice 4-hour candle. Maybe we'll be breaking out of here. We'll have an uptrend continuing. Okay, maybe it's just cooling off here, and CPI news might be good and take us through there. good for gold, I mean, not CPI numbers. If CPI numbers are good and good for the US dollar, that would mean gold will sell. If CPI numbers are horrible and inflation is moving up, contrary to what Trump is saying, inflation is going down, then the US dollar will take a hit and gold will possibly be bullish. Okay, so that's what we got to watch for. Now, if I break these 4-hour candles down to the 1 hour, look at the 1 hour candles, okay? We can see that they're slowly pushing down lower lows, coming back up with lower highs, a lot of wicks, going back down with lower lows, coming back up, cannot break this area, 3358. Remember yesterday, we couldn't break that 3358. We still can't break it. So it's holding good support here at 3342, coming back up, bar coding all night. Now a little bit more volume is coming in the markets when pre-London, 2 a.m. There's London, bullish. So we're just real sloppy right now, waiting for CPI news. This hour now came down and it created the lowest point of the day, and now it's coming back up with a hammer, closing in 13 minutes. Okay, if you draw like a trend line, you can draw a trend line. You can see that we are descending, but it could be building. But again, it's in this tough area to trade. It's good for scalpers, like scalpers can trade these zones, but more for hourly traders, 4-hour traders. So far, it's still in this accumulation. Okay. If we look now on the 5-minute time frame, this is how it looks on the fives. Okay, so you can see we have our highest point of the day, the purple line. We got our lowest point of the day. I can see we just hit the lowest point right now at 7:35. It came down there. See how many times we've tried to break the highest point of the day, like right over here, and over here, and over here again, coming out of London. So there is a lot of resistance up there, but we are building. Okay, even the 5-minute candles, you know, they came down. Came back up to 50% of this bar. That bar closed below, which sent us down to push down, continuing. So even just like a 5-minute trend line, just like from here, if you were just to do a 5-minute trend line, you can see that we kind of just broke through it right now. So maybe we'll come back down and retest this trend line. Do we have any 5-minute support in the market? I can see that we had support above this yellow line. It broke, came back up. It broke right there, came back up. We touched it right there, went back up. Here we actually broke it and created the low of the day. So we do have, on the 5 minutes, there is a little bit of support holding below here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a green 5-minute zone. This is not like a daily zone. This is just more on the lowest time frame, the 5 minutes, to show when we came down there, it went back up. It came down there, it went back up. We came into there again, it went back up. We just broke through it right now impulsively. See how it came all the way down, hit the lowest point of the day, and that's a 5-minute candle that came all the way back up and closed above it, and now we're getting this next leg push up. So it's still holding. I don't see any bear 5-minute volume closing below there. I see some impulse candles coming in there, but nothing closing below this green 3,340. So still holding strong. We might continue to consolidate. We do have 5-minute resistance, like it broke above right there, above that daily point of interest yellow line right there, broke above, but then they sent it right back down. So just putting a red box on the 5 minutes to show us when we're getting in there, they're going back down. We might be trading back into here. This is, again, just that 3,350 psychological block. So we'll see. Maybe we'll come back up here, maybe push back down. Maybe it might close above here, retest this. Then we're going to take out the highest point of the day and continue bullish. Maybe sellers will create a lower high and bring it right back down. Key points of interest on the 5 minutes. I look for pivot points. Here it came down. It stopped right there. So there's a pivot, which took us right back up. There we closed below that red line, kind of pushed, but didn't get that accelerated push down. It got engulfed, came back up bullish. There again, they broke it down. Now it's retesting it, holding as resistance. It drove us all the way down to that lowest point. And now this red line could act momentarily as some sort of support with the volume being above it to take us back up to test this red block up here or that 3,350. Okay, so that's how gold is moving right now. It is 7:50, so we have another 30 minutes to go into COMEX, and then 40 more minutes will be CPI. So we'll watch on the 5 minutes how everything is moving leading into all of that news. We'll add our SST daily bar indicator. So just recap, we opened right here. Initially, we had that bearish push down, which created the lowest point of the day. It was just right now, just like 15 minutes ago. And since then, right off of that lowest point of the day, this is our bullish volume we have in the daily candle. It's this volume right now. But previous, we came all the way to hit that highest point of the day right over here at 3:35. That was 30 minutes after London market open. Since London, you can see it was making a lower low, a lower high, new lower low, a lower high. Came all the way down to the lowest point right now. And this is where we're trading at right now. And we do have this daily point of interest, yellow line, at 3,350. Okay. So we can add some EMAs. EMA 9, we are currently above it right now. And EMA 200 is right here at that red zone, at that psychological block of 3,350. And it's also pretty much right at that daily yellow point of interest. So if it does get up there, okay, if it comes up bullish, 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 bullish right in there, you're trading in that red zone and right at that 200 EMA, what could typically happen? It could come in there and go back down, or it could kind of come in there and maybe impulsively break out and then go back down. They with a big wick, they reject it back down. And the third and only other option is it could break right through there and actually close with a blue candle above there. Then what we'll do is we'll flip that red zone green, and it could be coming down to support, and that 200 EMA might be support. That yellow point of interest might be point of interest for support, and then gets buyers, and then we're trading right back up to the highest point of the day, and maybe a breakout above there. Okay, so those are the options. What could happen up there? And I'm just saying from what I see over here, when we came in there, it went back down. We came in there, and then it went back down. We could be coming in there again, and technically it could go back down, unless the bar proves us otherwise. Okay, so slowly right now it is building to maybe come back up there. So if you are in a buy, you know what you would be watching for is the reaction in there. If you're looking to sell, you could be looking for a sell in there. Okay, if you're not in a trade right now, we're watching to see what will happen. Okay, so that's gold. We'll put it side by side with DXY over here. So this is DXY. This is the US dollar index. Again, I get a lot of questions what this is. Okay, it's not the just US dollar. It's not just the strength of the US dollar. It is the strength of the US dollar against the other major currencies. It's a basket case, and that basket case consists of the Canadian dollar. The pound had some red folder news this morning. The euro, the New Zealand dollar, which had some Australian dollar, had some red folder news last night as well, and the Japanese yen. And that's the overall strength of the US dollar against all of those currencies, not just one in particular. But 60% of this is against the euro. So a lot of traders focus on, when they're looking at DXY, how it's trading against the euro. But it does combine all those other currencies. Okay, so right now what it's showing me is it's strong. Okay, it made that big move up there, then it came all the way back down, held the bottom there, and now it's retracing all the way back up. If there's a big top on DXY, like a resistance, I would say somewhere right around here. Why? Because when it came all the way up there, it pivoted all the way back down. So let's stretch that into the future, and you can see if we break our highest point of the day, it could get right back up there, and then that's where the big selling pressure could be, right in there, right? And then where do we have good support? Well, look at the lowest point of the day. It's a double bottom with equal low wicks. Okay, so when you're looking for a good supporting level, right there so far, we got great support holding at the lowest point of the day. It's holding good support. Okay, and then do we have some points of interest on the 5 minutes? We do. I would say this is a point of interest right here. It did come up here impulsively, but look at the volume below there. It did come back up to this red line, impulsively break, a lower high, and then they pushed it right back down. You see it came right up there again to that red line impulsively, volume pushed it right back down. Right now, we kind of close with some volume above there, near that highest point of the day, below that red block, and now they're pushing it right back down. So a lot of correlations, some traders use this with correlations. If the DXY is going down, naturally we should see gold going up, but that's not always the case. Okay, we've seen this multiple times where DXY is going down and gold is going down. We saw it yesterday where DXY was going up and gold was going up. So you can't always just assume it's going to do the opposite. Okay, because remember, this is it's paired with all of the other currencies as well. Okay, so we'll leave this. You guys asked me to place this on a split screen, so I do it for you. So some of you guys are utilizing this for your trading, so we'll keep DXY there, but main focus will be gold over here, okay? Any questions, guys? Thank you, guys. Wow, 277 viewers. If you guys like the channel now, maybe we can get it up to 300 viewers. That would be amazing. And Dave and I will have some giveaways. Subscribe to the channel too, guys, if you guys can. We've got this live counter right over here. We hit 82,200 yesterday. Thank you guys for that. Now we're at 210. Let's try today and get it up to 250. Okay, can we get 250? It's like an online auction over here. We can see the growth of the channel. It's making a higher high. We got a higher low. We're in an uptrend. We're getting another higher high. We're kind of stabilizing, and we got a new higher high. Amazing. 212. Okay. We don't want to see this dip all the way down and have a crash, but it happens, you know. But let's see if we can be in an uptrend. Okay. Keep it going. Higher highs and higher lows to 100,000. You guys better not tank it on me now and manipulate it, or else I'll call Donald Trump to say a few things. Donald Trump listened to me yesterday, guys. Did anybody listen to what I said the other day with Donald Trump? I said to him, you know, I have my critique about him, but there are some things that I say because I know he's very powerful. And did I not say to him, Mr. Trump, here in Canada, weed is legalized, marijuana is legalized. Can you maybe decriminalize it, federally legalize it, declassify it? And he was listening. He declassified it. He scheduled it to make it look like prescription drugs and not like a narcotic. And it was up. Canopy was up, I think, 10% yesterday. So thank you, Mr. Donald Trump, for listening to us. We'll keep giving you some financial advice. We're probably SST is probably better than your economic advisors and your advisors right now. We can even teach you about tariffs and how they work as well, if you're listening. Yeah, he's going to Russia, guys. I didn't know that Alaska was Russia, but Donald Trump said, I'm meeting Vladimir Putin in Russia. And the meeting is actually in Alaska, last time I checked. And I don't know, over the years, I thought Alaska was part of USA. I could be wrong. Donald Trump is saying he's going to Russia. Unless he sold it, right? Everything is for sale. Sean, I got to slow down how I speak. I had a lot of coffee. Today. I still got coffee. Tim Hortons, okay? If we can get a Tim Hortons sponsor over here, we would love it. Okay, so guys, we're going into 8 a.m. in the next 25 seconds. So 8 a.m. is going to start. We're going to have a new hourly candle. We're going to have some momentum. We're going to have some volatility coming in. What we can do is also take a peek at the hourly candles. Okay, so this is what's going on. Remember, just a recap of the hourly. Okay, we're in a consolidated phase. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. It's in a big accumulation, multi-hour accumulation. Again, sellers are accumulating, buyers are accumulating. Once they drop this CPI news, I guarantee you all of this accumulation is either going to break to the upside or it's going to break to the downside. So there is market accumulation prior to the news. You have buyers anticipating a move and you got sellers anticipating a move. So, but these are bigger institutions who can afford to accumulate. Maybe you and I, we can afford to accumulate, but maybe on a smaller scale, unless you're a multi-millionaire or a multi-billionaire, maybe I don't know about. But again, if you're just going one side, you're accumulating sells. What happens if it breaks out bullish? Then you're in trouble. Okay, these institutions can hold, right? They have much more capital than us. Also, opposite side, if you're accumulating a buy position, just like these institutional traders are doing, if it drops down bearish, you and I could possibly be liquidated or will panic. I don't think the institutions will panic. They'll probably just accumulate more and they have all the time in the world and they have all the money in the world to continue to wait. I don't think they trade with stop losses like we do. So that's why just mind your risk when you're trading. Okay, so you see this bullish move is still pushing up. Is it holding 50% of this big bullish candle? You can see the retracement came in there. Yes, it is. It pushed back up, came back down. See this red line, what I was saying? It used to be support there, turned to resistance there. Now it's still holding support. The 9 EMA is right at that red line while we're continuing to make our way. Let's see what will happen if it gets back up to this red zone, psychological zone, 3,350. Our 200 EMA is there. Also, this yellow daily point of interest is there. Maybe if we're looking for a short position, we might entertain a short there. Okay. Just looking at the history, it comes in there, goes back down. Comes in there, goes back down. Maybe it's making its way back up there and it will go back down. But right now, we also have to acknowledge that it doesn't always come all the way in there. This might be a lower high. And the sellers are not allowing it to come in there. They might be putting more offers in the market right here at 3348. And you can see it came in there, back down, came in there, back down. Just tapped it and now it's a shooting star. So maybe we got some minor consolidation right here now. Okay. So we can watch and see who accumulates in this block. And if it kind of breaks down, it could come back below here, retest this, and drop down, back down in here. Okay. And then I would measure that move if I want to take a sell down there from there to there, approximately 35, 40 pips. Maybe if it comes right in that green zone, about 40, 45. If it goes all the way down, 50. But you got to also entertain the fact that it could come all the way down there in that green zone and go right back up. Okay, look at that big rejection off of the lowest point of the day and that big bullish candle that printed and started this leg up. So if it comes all the way back down in there, there might be buyers exactly right there, 50% of the zone, and they're at 50% point of control of that big bullish volume based candle. So if you're selling into them, that's where you got to do something. If you want to hold it. But this is the point where it could come down there and go right back up and then hit you where you entered. Either you're at a break even, you give away your profit, or if you don't have a break even, they could go after your stop loss. Okay. So that's if you're looking for a selling down into a green block. If you're looking for a buy, we got to watch how it continues to accumulate here. Maybe it accumulates. Maybe we'll break out of here, retest this, and then drive through that red box. But when it comes in there, they could drop it back down, right? Or it could definitely break out of there. But what I also do is I also measure from here, coming into the red zone, right at 25 pips right into it, 30 to the highest point, 35. And if it breaks out, you could be looking for your 40 plus. But you still got to respect this green zone and this red zone on the 5 minutes. Why? Because look backwards. How many times did we come in here and it went back up? Came in there, back up. Came in there, back up. Came in there, back up. We just broke it, hit the lowest point of the day, but look at the response. Strong response and coming. So that's what I'm saying. If we come in there, it could go right back up. So that's what I'm saying. If you're in a sell, you should be considering to do something in there. Okay. And then also this red zone. Just recently we came in here, back down. Came in there, lower high, back down. That's what I was saying. If we come back in there, they could bring it back down. But right now we got lower highs right here. And it's 8:05. Okay. So we got some came right back up. You know, we got equal highs right there, right there, right there on three bodies, and now they're breaking it. So this is an impulse candle now breaking down. Okay, so it just impulsively broke through there. The volume is still in here. Let's see if we get some selling volume close below here in the next 4 minutes. We could even go to the 1 minutes if you guys like. Watch some 1 minutes. See, these are now 60-second candles. They're making a double top. There it came up. There's all at one top, come back down. It held, good support there, kind of like the neckline, came back up. You can see in this area again, double top coming down. So when you're looking for an M pattern, that whole top right here, consider one top. There's our neckline, coming back up, second top, coming back down. We haven't kind of closed below here yet, because if it closes below, maybe retest this, then the 1 minute candles might drop down. Okay, but let's see. We're watching the 1 minutes now. Okay, so we're not on the fives. Okay, so this 1 minute candle, it's ignited, pushing down. The previous one came down, but closed inside that zone. Now we're opening ignited. It took out the low. This bar is going to close in 28 seconds. Okay. We also have this big bullish 1 minute candle that closed above the structure. So just like when I was telling you on the daily candle, an important point of control is right there. If these 1 minute candles fall all the way down to that red line, look at it. It's this big bar, 1 minute bar, is the one that closed above all of this structure to the left. I would place a lot of emphasis on that point of control right there. A little bit above, a little bit below, right there. And that's where if it sells down into there, 1 minute buyers could be waiting right in there. Okay, so you see how it closed below, it just came down. Let's look for maybe a retest right here. Okay, so now the bullish 1 minute candle is coming in to retest our breakout 5 minute zone. Remember this consolidated zone? That's all on the 5 minutes. So now it's retested it. Will it come a little higher? Right there's the 9 crossing below the 200 on the 9 on the EMAs. Okay, so now it's coming right back up for a retest. Okay, so now we gotta see, will it close back in there? Is this a fake out? Okay, see how it came down, back in. Oh, big sharp rejection. Did you see that sharp rejection right near the close? Okay, so it came in there, got that sharp rejection, but look at it. Okay, another sharp rejection. Watch where it closes. Okay, so it got rejected. Get ready. Get ready. This could be a bearish candle going off of that impulse, that big rejection. If this opens bearish like black, the 1 minute candles can start to break down. There it is. Okay, so it's showing a little bit of bearish. It's a doji candle. Got some retests happening. Will it come back in? You can wait for the 5 minute body to close as well. If you don't feel comfortable trading these, you can wait for that 5 minute body to close. This is the 5 minute body. It's impulsively breaking down there. Those were those 1 minute candles that broke down coming back up. This 5 minute candle is going to take another minute and 20. But what we can do is we can watch it on the single 1 minute bars. This one's going to close in 18 seconds. And then we're going to get the last 1 minute bar to close off that 5 minute candle. So it is coming back up. They're pushing it back down. That's why if you go to the 1 minute candles, you can expedite your education. You can learn a lot faster. You don't necessarily have to trade, but you can watch. You see now that 1 minute candle closed, again, bullish volume inside. So we're still inside here. That 5 minute candle is showing like indecision. It came down, it's going back up. You got to maybe follow that volume down in the next 45 seconds. So in 45 seconds, this 5 minute candle is going to close. We can watch it on this 1 minute candle. If you want to go in early, you're going in on this 1 minute candle, but you're going in impulsively on that 5 minute candle before it closes. I would wait for this bar to fully close, and maybe we trade the next 5 minute candle. Could be the bearish one that comes all the way back down. Okay, so 20 seconds to go into this close. Remember, this is closing our 5 minute bar. This is representing the close of the 5 minute bar. It's 8:09. We're going to move into 8:10. Okay, so get ready for maybe looking at the 5 minute candle. Here it is. Okay, so you see it breaking down. 5 minute candle is going to close now. Possible retest is there. Wow. Okay, so they just drop it down. That's that quick drop. That's why I like watching 1 minute candles. You can see it kind of right there. It opened, ignited, and just dropped. Okay. Sometimes you don't have time to react because it happens so fast. But you see the way how it came up, those sharp rejections came back up. They bearish engulfed it and then broke it down. See right there where I drew that green box? Why did I draw that green box? I drew it for a lesson for you guys. You see how that candle bar just came right into that green box and caught a wick and came right back up. So that initial push down, it triggered those pending orders waiting in there. And this is showing that this is a bearish candle coming from a higher time frame. This is that 5-minute bar that could maybe break through that block right there. Okay, or is it going to hold? See there how it came down again, second time in holding, could reverse this whole move. There you go. You see, guys, why I measure it down when I trade down to those blocks right there. That's an example. Yes, I understand. I didn't take the sell, but that's what I mean. As a scalper, you have to be very disciplined. You see, that was a sell for like 20 pips, but you see when it came right in that green zone, how it popped. How did I identify that green zone? Does anybody ever ask, Ron, why did you choose that candle? There was so many candles to choose from. Why that one? Because I'm telling you guys, some of you guys listen, some of you guys don't listen to whenever I say. Also, gold on the daily. Remember what I said to you. Over here, why did I look at this daily candle? Because that was that important second one that closed above this structure. And then you see again how it came down right into there. That was the response. So if you learn how to do this on the 1 minute, you can do this on the daily, on the 4 hour, on the hourly, on the 15-minute, on the 5-minute. Okay, but you got to know what bars to look for. Okay, that's how if you're a swing trader on the daily, this can't, not this one, this one here, these 3 bars, this one, and this one, created those 3 soldiers, they call them. Three nice big bullish bars are called 3 soldiers. And the second soldier is the one that closed above all of this structure. So that's the strong one, the confirmation one that closed above. If you figured that point of control and stretch it across, that pullback that came all the way down in there, look at the response. You could have had a swing trade coming out of there. Same with on these 1-minute ones, what I just showed you right there. Okay, see how you can learn this stuff? See, this one, why did I choose that 1-minute candle? There was this one, there was this one. This one was the one that confirmed the close above this resistance right there. And then you see when it dropped all the way down, it triggered all of those pending buyers. Mind you, this is just a 1-minute candle. It's not a daily candle, okay? And then the response was, it broke right out of there. It got them, but they could not close strong, the buyers, and get it back to go back up. So we are still pushing down, and the sellers are still continuing to absorb. They could break this one more time, break it down, because the buyers they're there. They were there pending, but they're not closing it strong. So the sellers are continuing to push it down. They might close it below here and continue to break this down. So the 5-minute candle is filling, and the 5-minute candle still has 90 more seconds. So this could be coming from a higher time frame. Okay, so we're going to stick with the 5s, but that was just an example to show you guys how quick the markets move when you're scalping. That's why when someone says to me, Ron, let's scalp the 1 minute, and I say they're very, very fast, you know, you gotta react fast on them. A lot of people don't understand when I say that. Okay, does that help, guys? Zoom, does that help you guys understand what to look for? A lot of trading is to identify exactly what you're looking for. I know it's a lot of candles, but when you're paying attention to the ones that you really need to pay attention to, then you'll figure out points of interest, you'll figure out point of control blocks, you'll figure out maybe I should be selling into there, maybe I should be buying in there, all of those things, okay? So you see how it's still holding? That little 1-minute candle is still holding structure. See, it's still building right now, okay? It hasn't broke down there. Again, it came in there, and look, it made a higher low coming out of there, okay? So 1-minute candles are great to learn with, because maybe you're never going to trade them. That's fine. But for learning purposes, see how quickly you can learn. And now you can utilize that on 5 minutes, on 15 minutes, on a 4-hour, or on a daily. Okay. So now we're 5 more minutes to go into COMEX. So what we got to really watch now is how we're moving into COMEX. Okay. So it came back up, lower high, pushing back down, Are we going to trade back in this green box? Are they going to break it down? And then after COMEX, guys, 10 more minutes, we have that CPI news. So if you're going to go into trading or take any trades, make sure you watch your own risk. I'll be watching my risk. Okay, I just got to look at spreads, make sure we're on the right security. Make sure everyone has some coffee. What do you guys think of the CPI numbers? Let's talk CPI now, okay? So everyone knows what CPI is. Hopefully, everyone knows what CPI is. Again, there's a few readings, okay? So core, month over month, for the month of July, excludes food and energy. Everything else, it's kind of like a basket case where they get these readings from. So, but that one will not excludes food and energy. This one is our CPI month over month of the month of July. Remember, this is previous month. Think back a month ago when you were shopping, when you got your electricity bill, when you're going to the gas station, all of those things. This one will be CPI month over month. This one includes oil and food and energy. Sorry. So think about when you're going shopping at the grocery store. Are those prices coming down, or are you paying more? There was an analysis that I was reading. It was a report done, and it was saying average grocery cost, like in a grocery cart, is up $17 on average for the same items. This time last year, it's up over $17. Someone will say, Ron, $17, fuck all. It doesn't mean a lot. Eggs, milk, some cheese, some cereal. $17 might not mean a lot year over year to you, but when we're talking data and results, that is increasing. So that is telling me that inflation is, why is cereal going up? Why are eggs going up? Why is milk going up? Why is produce? Why are apples going up? There's got to be a reason for that. Not just, $17 doesn't mean anything. Maybe you're rich, but for analysts who are looking at these numbers, it means a lot. If it wasn't going up, it would be at zero. It would be the same. Or why is it not down? Why is my same grocery cart not down $17 from this time last year? It's up. So that's telling me inflation is causing this, or unless there's something else that I'm missing. Supply and demand. Yeah, there could be maybe a drought on apples, and they didn't produce as many apples. So the apples that are left could be higher in price. I do understand how supply and demand works, but we got to look at this. And in the big reading is the CPI year over year. So this will be, they're already forecasting an increase of year over year. But what if this is a significant increase? What if it comes in at 3%, right? Last year, this time was 2.7. They're just doing a modest increase of 2.8. What if this comes in at 3%? That is a lot higher than the forecast and 0.3 points above last year's. So that will, year over year, inflation is going up. Let's see what month over month, including oil and energy, and then month over month, excluding food and energy. Okay. And this will directly impact the US dollar. Okay. So if these are going up, right? If they're going up, that's telling me consumer pricing is going up. It's costing us more money when we go and spend. That's not the greatest for US dollar. So we might see a decline in the US dollar, and we might see a push on gold when we're trading. This could be completely opposite of what I'm saying. If these numbers come in low, we'll have a great consumer price index. So if these come in, that would be bullish for US dollar, and then maybe a sell on gold. So we got to pay attention to those coming in at 10 minutes. But right now we have COMEX market opening up. Okay. So that block, I'm going to get rid of this block. That was just for education there. Now we're pushing all the way back down. Okay, so this is now COMEX market open. So it's pushing all the way down. Let's see what type of interaction we have with this green zone. Will it come in here? Will it come in right at 50%, like right there? And maybe catch some buyers right there? Or is it going to cut through this, break through this? Are we going to maybe close below this? And then we could maybe target that low of the day. Okay. Okay, so you see how strong the selling pressure is. Okay, so again, if you were in a nice little buy, you could have grabbed yourself a few pips coming up there. But again, you got to respect the markets. Okay, so that was an 80 pip move. You had 3 wicks right below this block. So they had lower highs, they had offers in the market, and they then brought it down. That's technically a lower high. So now we're going to see, will it come back down and close below this green box? It cut right through there. Will it come all the way back up? Will we get a next leg coming through here? Or is this going to be a bearish leg continuing to drop down? Okay, so I'm not in a trade right now, so don't ask me if I'm in a trade. I'm not. I'm telling you guys. I will verbally tell you guys when I take a trade. I don't necessarily want to just get into a trade and hope for the best right before CPI. I'd like to see how the market is moving, how it's respecting structure, how COMEX market opens, how things are moving leading into the news, and then I trade after the news. Okay, if that's a problem for you guys, there's nothing I can do. That's how I trade. If I go into a trade right now, I'm basically just guessing. I'm just guessing what are going to be the inflation numbers. I'm guessing where gold. I don't guess when I trade. I analyze and then I trade accordingly. Vanitas, yeah. Paramount paid $7.7 billion for the UFC rights, and I was looking at Paramount's market cap, and they're, I think, $6.5 billion. So that acquisition for the UFC is more than what the company is actually worth. So it better be a big investment. Hopefully they get a return on their investment. They're betting the farm on it. Okay, so you see, guys, is anyone paying attention or is it just me? It came bearish right through there, right in that green block, and the buyers are asking to trade up here with 2 more minutes to go. Okay, so it's respecting this green block right now. But the closing candle determines the final. So it came down there, it was coming back up. Sellers heard me, and now they're bringing it right back down. So let's see now where the bar will close. If it closes below here, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm just going to go from a green zone to a red zone. Okay, and then if it retests this, it could sell all the way down to the lowest point of the day, fill that wick, and maybe break for a new low. But we're trading into a bigger block here. We got a big daily point of interest here at 3,325, right in here. Okay, so if it comes all the way down there and you're looking to buy, you're buying right at 50% of a demand zone. But we also have high impact news. So news doesn't give a shit about these points of interest. News can break through anything. Okay. Is there anyone out there, between us, anyone out there that pirates the UFC events and just, finds those stream links and pirates them? I don't think everyone is out there paying $100 US for pay-per-view pretty much every weekend that they're on. And if you guys finding those links, you don't have to do it anymore. Lee, you torrent it? Yeah, you're old school. Do you guys remember LimeWire back in the day? Do you guys remember Napster when we used to download music? Anyone remember LimeWire? Samuel, no? Sherry, you don't remember LimeWire and Napster? LimeWire was the best. Aaron, I still have my whole playlist. I show my son. He's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "This is the best music from the early '90s and 2000." Yep. Okay, guys. So we did close below. So look at what I'm just doing. I'm going green to red. We still have 5 more minutes to go until we get our CPI. Okay, so right now the volume is below our block. First bar that closed below was with COMEX market open. Now we're coming bullish into it. So this is where I see if it gets rejected, right around here, right at the point of control of that bearish candle, right in the red block. See if it gets rejected, and maybe we'll continue push back down to the lowest point of day. However, they could be building a higher low and protecting the low of the day right prior to news. Okay, so you see now how it came right in there. Guys, this is also education for you, okay? See how things work? That bar closed below. So you see how I made it red to represent sellers. See the buyers came in, there was a big blue candle right there, got rejected. So that's approximately 50% of the red zone. That's why psychological 50% is very valuable in trading. When you understand this, when I figured it out, I became a better trader. I became a better trader just when I realized that, okay? So hopefully you guys are understanding this. Okay, and in less than 3 minutes, guys, it's going to be big news. So you see how the buyers came in there? The sellers absorbed them and pushing them down with a bearish pin bar. So let's see if it will fill this wick, and are they going to take out the lowest point of the day, or is it going to hold? Now it's a shooting star candle coming down, okay? Guys, we almost have 400 viewers. Amazing. I'm just going to quickly check the likes. Okay, just please pump these likes up here. I do appreciate it. We have 176 likes. Let's get it up to 250. We almost have 400 viewers here. Hit the like button, and the likes will bring us good luck here at SST. Bring them up here. Let's go. Okay, so guys, pay attention. Again, see how these are pending now? So these results will come in a minute and 40 seconds. Might be delayed a little bit, but again, let's see what these are. You can trade right away. There's going to be a move prior to them releasing them and a move after. We've seen big bullish candles break out of here and big bearish candles. If you're already in a trade, you may benefit from that. If you're not in a trade, have rules now. Tell yourself, what are your rules? Are you waiting for the first 5-minute candle to close? Are you on the 1-minute candles? Are you waiting for a 1-minute bar? Are you waiting for a full 15 minutes? Everybody is different, okay? Just all we can do is just trade with proper risk management. If you over leverage and you get clapped, don't be complaining to me, because I'm telling you 100 times to manage your risk. I'm not your financial advisor here. Disclaimer. SST are not financial advisors. We're just two guys that trade in the basement. We smoke some weed and we drink some coffee. That's all we are here. We're not your advisors. Go to your local financial institution and sit down with the guy that wears the tie and that smart guy. He'll tell you where to put your money. Us, we're here teaching you price action. Emmanuel, when was the last time I went to a record store? I actually went the other week. Nice vinyls there too. Yeah, I want to get my kids into it. You can buy this little nice record player, and we can play some I have a lot of good vinyl, old ones. Okay, here we go, guys. Okay, big bullish candle. Okay, right out of the gate. Holy shit. Okay. So it's right out of the gate. First 10. Wow. Okay. Look at the US dollar. Okay. So it's got to be, the numbers have came in 2.7. Okay. Year over year. Oh, that's wow. Okay. So core CPI came in 0.3. So core CPI excluding food and energy came in just a little bit over the previous month. The year over year was the big reading in the red, less. So that should be, technically good for US dollar. So there was a big initial drop. Let's watch now if they pick it up. Okay. So, and then gold pumped out of there. Let's see if they gets rejected back down. Let's wait for the bar to close. Okay. That was the first 1 minute. That was the initial drop. Maybe they liquidated everybody below here. And we'll see if this thing continues to pick back up or where it will close. Okay. So US dollar dropped, gold, nice big bullish candle coming up. I'm just going to get rid of these red lines now because we got bigger volume coming in. If you guys traded that and you're in the trade, hopefully it worked out well for you. I'm still waiting for this entire candle to close. Okay, and it's going to be waiting a while. It's 3.5 minutes for this candle to close. So sometimes, CPI is not always correlated with everything that happens. Okay, so you just gotta, what I do after is I watch where the volume closes, how it's moving. Okay, we got a nice big bullish candle on gold, big bearish ignited bar on DXY pushing down. Okay, so there's the numbers. Okay, so it's a change in price in goods and services purchased by consumers. This one, the year-over-year reading, actual greater than forecast is good for the currency, so it's actually below. So that's why US dollar is pushing down right now. But we'll see where it closes in this final 5 minutes. If you're on NASDAQ and US 30, markets are pumping right there on this news. We'll get to NASDAQ and US 30 very, very soon, but let's just watch this gold. Okay. So we have 2 more minutes to go. If this bearish bar closes below here, this green zone go to red on the US dollar. If we close above here on gold, this red zone could invert and be green. Okay. We could also find points of control of these big bars. When they finally close, we'll figure out where 50% of them are. So a rate cut should be more probable. Yes, with those readings, yeah, 100%. So maybe we'll see that rate cut come in September, 25 basis points for the US. So that's why possibly the markets are moving up right now on anticipation of this consumer price index and maybe anticipation in September in the next couple weeks that US has a rate cut, and that would send the markets continuing to push bullish, maybe to all-time highs again. Nice, Chris. Okay, so here we go. 60 more seconds to go into the close. Okay, so DXY is bearish. Gold, we got a nice big bullish candle coming out. So it was created just right above that lowest point of the day. Okay, but we impulsively broke out of there, and now they rejected it back down. We'll see where it will close. Will it close above the structure right here? So will we build off of this? Remember where we just came up? We got rejected right there. Okay, can we close above this? Or are they going to reject this all the way back down? "25 seconds to go into the close." Okay, so here we go into the close. Again, will it close above this zone, below it, inside of it, pullbacks. If you were looking to buy a pullback, there's the close. Okay, so about 50%, that zone, I would say right around here. If a pullback comes into us here in that green block right there, okay, it might not. Remember higher lows. Okay, so it came down. Remember this red line, resistance, resistance. Right now it's acting as support. Okay, but it's a bearish ignited candle when it opened. So let's see if it will continue to come back down, maybe break this and trade into this green box. Your 9 EMAs in that green box. We're above this zone now, so that is definitely green. Okay, so there's that bearish candle. Let's see if it will, see how it's still holding that red line resistance right there, and now it's still acting as support. So it is technically still holding it. Okay, so now it broke it. Let's see if it will come a little bit deeper down into that green zone. It may make a higher low, okay, if they're protecting that. Let's see if it will come all the way back down into there. Okay, so if you wanted to buy, let's see if we can buy a pullback. Okay, so now you see it's bearish, 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 bearish coming in. Will it come right at the top of the green box, right into about 50% of it, at the bottom of it? Will it just bypass, cut through that, and then our bigger zone below it? Okay, so now it's retesting it. Okay. Okay, so the bearish candle coming down. Okay, and there's 3 more minutes to go on this candle, so lots of time. But I'm just showing you there's that point of control of that big bullish candle. So the buyers, are they there? Will they still be there? Or are sellers going to absorb them and cut right through here? Okay, so good respect so far in there. Okay, so it came up a little bit, came back down. 2 minutes and 40 seconds go, so we're halfway through this 5-minute candle. Sorry, I got to go red box right here on the DXY. That used to be green, but that volume that closed below is red. So we'll see if it retests this. Okay, so holding so far in there. We got our buyers in there triggered. But where will this bar close? Will it close back above here? If we flip this big hanging man candle, we could flip it and then maybe backfill that wick, and then we're trading right at the highest point of the day, and maybe have a daily high breakout on gold. Okay, but we're still in this kind of consolidated zone between this red block and this green block, but we're just testing that news first 5-minute candle to see if it will still hold point of control support for the buyers here. Okay, so they're kind of cutting it right through there. Now we're at 50% right in there again. So how many times has it came in here, went back up, came in, went back up? We'll see. Will it close in here? Will the next bar be bearish, come down even more? Will we continue to hold in here? Will the buyers close it strong near the end? We have 1 minute and 6 seconds to go. Okay, and then also momentum going into the next bar. Like if we get a nice wick and there's pushing it back up the buyers, the next candle could open bullish ignited with that momentum and continue to go. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We got a good push now. Okay, so it traded right in there. So guys, for anyone that's utilizing pending orders, that's a lesson on using pending orders and where to place them. Locate your blocks, locate your points of control, and that might help you learn all about pending orders. Okay, so 20 more seconds going to the close. We have this hanging man candle. Remember, it opened bearish ignited and dropped all the way down there. Now the buyers are asking to trade up here, but they have not inverted this bearish bar yet. US dollar came all the way up right below that red zone, and they've rejected it back down. Okay, so here's the close. Is it going to open bullish off of that momentum, off of that wick? No, it's coming down. So let's see if it will pick up a higher low and flip. Will it come back in that green box? There's, let's see, higher low. Will it flip? Okay, so coming right back down to that green box. Again, higher low at the green box. Will it come back up and flip this candle? Okay, so let's see. Higher low, retest of the green box. Okay, all we got to do is kind of maybe flip this candle. Yep, it's coming back up. Might entertain a buy if it flips here. And then to see if it can continue fill and get to today's highest point. Okay, I'm just waiting for the body to flip. Okay, I'm going to go in a buy. The body flipped bullish. It's a hammer. So I'm going to see if we can fill the previous high wick and get to that highest point of the day, maybe have a high breakout. I'm going to place my stop loss below the lowest point of the day. Okay, so I'm giving it more room to breathe because of the news. Okay, so I'm giving it a bigger stop loss. I want to see if it can continue to build off of this zone right here. Remember, this was just the news candle. We have bigger depth of market below us. So, but we're still holding this zone. So I want to see if we can kind of flip. Again, if we can get some nice bullish volume closing above 3,051, 3,351.52 up here, maybe we can convert our red zone to green and get a depth of market building above us here in order to get that daily high breakout. So I'm in a buy testing out on gold. The DXY is bearish right now. We are still holding 50% of the point of control of the news candle. We still are building higher lows off of the lowest point of the day. My stop loss is below that lowest point of the day for protection. And want to see if we can get some bullish volume closing above here. And maybe we'll have the 9 EMA catch up to the 200. And maybe we'll have a bullish crossover in order to break out for the newest high of the day. So let's test it out. Miss Jones in NASDAQ. Wow. Okay. Yep. Again, guys, if you missed, look for maybe a pullback. Find 50% of this candle. Maybe you'll get a pullback eventually in there. But, you know, figure it out, guys. This could be a little lesson for you. And then I'll come back and do those in just a moment. Okay. I really want to watch where gold is going to close. So if we can fill that wick, guys, that's 50 pips. Okay. Believe it or not. Okay. This is a lot of volume. That's 50 pips right there just to fill that wick. You know, if we can get back to the highest point of the day, that's 90. Okay, so you know you can manage your risk. You know, this candle is going to close in 90 seconds. Okay, just to fill up there. Remember what I told you is 50 pips. DCY, you got 25 pips at break even now. Perfect. That's great risk management. I love it. Okay, that's 50, guys. 50, 50, right there. 50 pips. Okay. Amazing, Sherry. You're up 1% right now. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, 60 seconds to go on the close, guys. We really have to watch where it closes. We have not broke above that high, guys. Tweezer top highs. You guys know the drill. Okay, those are tweezer top highs. They're not allowing it to go any higher than that currently. So we need to get closing volume above this red box so we can build the next bar to break through that. Okay, so this is very critical. But they've already placed tweezer top highs in the market. Okay, I hate when that happens, believe me, because I know that they're holding the market down from moving and they're protecting the highest point of the day. So they may bring it back down. Watch. Okay. And if we close inside the red zone or below the red zone, it's still a red zone. I can't make it green. Those are according to my rules. Okay, so there's the close. Again, below the red zone. We got an ignited bar open, trading in the red zone. If they reject it back down, we're coming back down and maybe retesting this block. Okay, hopefully we can hold that ignited bar, but it's got a lot of backfilling to do. Okay, so those are two big wicks. They're not short wicks. So we got to continue to fill. Again, maybe close with volume above here so we can continue to build. But we need gold buyers to continue to ask and trade above 352, 353 up here, okay? But ultimately, maybe a blue bar closing above here, okay? Okay, good candle. Remember that ignited open. Can we backfill these wicks and create that new higher high? If we can get through here and get that new higher high, I'm going to be reducing my risk because then I know I'm going up maybe 60, 70 pips up there, okay? So I will be reducing my risk. You know, I haven't encountered any drawdown as of yet. That's good, but I haven't realized any profit either, okay? Again, coming all the way back up, that lower high, push down, 3.5 minutes to go. Can we get bullish volume to close above there to continue to build, or is that going to be a lower high rejection and they're coming down? We still have our inverted hammer, that ignited bar open, still holding, okay? So can we continue to ask while the candle is still refueling, building itself back up here? And we could see maybe a retest on DXY right here. Okay, so we're getting back up there. This is another attempt to break these equal highs up here. This is the bar. We got to do it. We got that volume. We have that ignited candle open, but it's kind of this long distance fill to backfill that big wick. There we go. Can we pop? I don't want to see another triple equal high. Or a lower high. Okay, there we broke. Perfect. Okay, so now that when you break, the depth of market is changing right now as I'm speaking. It's changing. There could be strength blocks building here. Offers could be being pulled above us, allowing this volume to continue to drive through here. There we go. Okay, I'm reducing my risk now. I'm not going to go to an entire break even, but I'm putting my risk now in this green block. Okay, so I've substantially reduced my risk. Now it's moving 65 pips up to there. If we can get this body to physically close above this red line, momentarily we can turn this red line into support going forward, okay? And if we can close above here, this entire red zone will turn green. There's a nice push, guys, 65 pips. We're not too far away from the high of the day. We're only 30 pips away from the high of the day, okay? So I've reduced my risk a lot, okay? Guys, please manage the trade on your own, okay? I can't tell you what to do. You guys got to do a little bit yourself. Reduce your risk, take some profit out, because we're closing in 90 seconds. Trading after the news can be very beneficial. You don't have to trade right at the news. You can see the big body candles, points of control. We targeted the pullback. You know, I didn't buy right away. I bought a little later, but zero drawdown, up almost 70 pips. I'm going to secure 80% right now, okay, because I'm up 70 pips. I'm taking out 80% and leaving 20% running, okay? So my 20% runner now is at break even, and I just took out, at 70 pips, I took out 80%, okay? So not bad. 70 pip trade. For me, I'm saying it's not bad for me. I'm a scalper. Normally, I'm looking for 20, 30 pips. If I can get 70, that's fine. I'm taking out 80% and leaving 20% runner. So now I have zero risk. I got 20% runner. We're hitting that high of the day. Maybe we're going to break out. There's our daily candle. There's our wick. Can we break out with this? And that red line, look, we're going to close in 20 seconds. That red line might be 50% exactly. That wick was resistance, now turning to support. Look at the body of the candle. That could be technically 50% exactly. That's how I learned how to do this. Watch the body of volume. Okay, so look at where my cursor is. Right at that red line. I'll even bring right there. We closed right at the highest point of the day, so they're going to pull it back right now. Hopefully we get a higher low wick in just to break that, but if it pulls back, you're looking to pull back at that red line. This red box go green, okay, because that's a solid zone now. We see how we're building the depth of market. Now it's pulling back. If you grab your Fibonacci tool real quick, let me just show you. From where that body opened to where it closed, look at where 50% is. Right there at basically that previous resistance turned to support. If you're looking for now your point of control of that candle, a little bit above, a little bit below, there's the point of control of that candle we just traded, that just closed. Okay, can we continue to hold higher lows? Can we continue if we trade in here? Is this now going to build and come right back up? But you see now they're protecting the highest point of the day. That's why I took out 80%. Okay, I don't get greedy when we get to the highest points of the day or the lowest points of the day. It's a purple line for a reason. Okay, so that candle closed right at the highest point. How do we not open up with a little bit of momentum to break through there? Because the market is holding it down at the highest point of the day. Some traders call it manipulation. Some people call it just the way how the markets move. I don't care what you call it, but you got to understand that that's the highest point of the day. You should be doing something there, okay? Either reducing your risk, taking some profit, scaling out, whatever it is, okay? If you're holding, you can still be holding. But let's see now if this block will hold. So far, we traded right into it. We got our buyers there, but now we got to continue to ask, to trade, to bring this candle all the way back up. But we have big selling pressure. So they could cut right through that block and then test the bigger zone. Again, I'm at a break even right here on my 20% remaining. So I look back now and I'm thankful that I took out 80% when it was going up 70 pips. Because I don't play a would have, should have, could have game. Sometimes I take out money and and it keeps moving. There's other situations like this where I take out money and it comes all the way tumbling right back down. Okay, so I have a very disciplined approach to my way how I trade, and I stick to it. Okay, and we're moving into 9 a.m. in the next 7-8 minutes. Okay, so we could get a reversal. Like, okay, the CPI news was released, and now the market has absorbed it, and now bigger trading can take over. Okay, well, but let's see if it will continue to hold our structure that we built so far. Hopefully, I don't get taken out down here. But we'll see. Now we're trading into the bigger green block. Remember, this one just represents the previous candle, the previous 5-minute candle. This block now is more structure. It used to be red over here, red over here. We closed above it. So now let's see if it will turn green now. Okay. And then you can see the 9 EMA and the 200 are right over there. So are we going to get this bullish crossover? And wow, they protected that high in the day. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. So guys, I'm in just right there. I might get taken out of my 20% break even right there. So guys, we went through a lot right there, okay? We have 415 viewers. If you guys wouldn't mind leaving us a like on walking you through that. And if you learned a little bit, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, and because we're going to move into Wall Street in just a moment here, okay? Just want to see if I get stopped out. I'll verbally let you guys know as soon as I get stopped out here. I'm still holding it, still in it. They haven't taken me out yet, but it looks like they're coming down there. Okay, so you see the better retest is deeper into the depth of market, right? Okay, deeper like an ocean. When you go swimming, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper into the ocean. Hopefully you know how to swim. But This is called the depth of market. The deeper we go, the stronger it is. Okay, this is the strongest point is the lowest point of the day. The next block above it is stronger. This zone is pretty good here. You can see how it held on that 8:30 news candle. That 5-minute candle, that was that big bullish one, but it doesn't surprise me that they brought it down right at the highest point of the day. So you see now how we're below it. So I'm just going to get rid of that green box. I'm going to focus on the red line. Now it closed below there, so we could be coming right back down, trading into this green block right here. We'll see if it holds, swing back up. If sellers close it below here, we could be coming all the way back down. And they could be reversing this big strong move on gold. We got to the highest point of the day, and it could be coming right back down, okay? But again, that's why I took out 80% when we were moving. As soon as I told you, we broke those highs, and it was moving up 70 pips. I told you guys verbally, I'm taking out 80% and leaving 20% running at a break even. And another thing, guys, I entered the trade right here. So I waited for that pullback, retest, came back up, closed right there. I waited for this bar one more time, come down, I saw the higher low, and as soon as it flipped into a hammer, that's where I bought. So on that entire trade that ran 90 pips, I did not incur 1 pip of drawdown, okay? And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or this or that, or I'm saying this to show you guys patience and discipline can help you pinpoint entries and realize zero drawdown. Is it always going to happen? No. There's trades that I take too where I wait, I'm disciplined, and I still go into drawdown. But I'm telling you guys, like if you wait and you watch what's going on, you can get into good setups and hopefully you don't realize any drawdown. Okay. So right now, I'm about to get taken out. They still haven't taken me out. There, I just got taken out, okay? So that 20% running at break even, I just forfeited 20% of profit, but the 80%, I'm thankful, I'm blessed that I took out there. So that's how I trade, according to disciplined plan. Someone will say, well, Ron, why did you do that? Well, there's your answer, why I take out 80%, because I could have, I wanted more at the highest point of the day, but it's a purple line for a reason. It's not me. I'm not a market maker. I just respect these areas, okay? And you got to do something. I always say do something. You don't have to close your entire trade. Take 50% out. Take out 30%. Take out 80%. Figure out a number that works well with you. Another thing to do is, if it's going up there, take your stop loss and go to a break even. That way you have no capital involved. Because now if it comes back down to break even and you still have your stop loss, now they're hunting for your stop loss. So not only did you give back your profit, but now you can lose your capital. That's one of the worst trades you can ever do in trading, is when you go into profit, psychologically you're happy, you're excited, you're up 50, you're up 100 pips, you don't do anything, and then it comes back down to where you entered and you don't even have a break even, you still have your stop loss, and then they come down 50 pips and nail your stop loss. That's a huge momentum swing in yourself, in your trading. That could be detrimental to the way how you continue trading. You could start to revenge trade. You could start to get pissed off. You'll hedge trade. You'll get mad. But you're just getting mad at yourself. You should be able to manage a trade and manage your risk. Other than that, don't complain. It's not the market. The market doesn't care where your stop loss is, or where the market is moving regardless. You think the market gives a shit about my stop loss and your stop loss? They don't care. They're going to move wherever they want to move. Well, if your stop is in there, it doesn't matter. It's going to get eaten up. Tony, why did I take a buy when you did? Okay, so let me walk you through it again. Okay, so we watched how it came down, okay, prior to COMEX. COMEX was dropping. 8:30, they released the news. I did not trade this news candle. I was watching it. Big bullish candle, and I saw how high it went. There's my red line, 3353. I saw it got rejected. First thing I did, Tony, was identify this block right here. I grabbed my Fibonacci tool real quick. Open, close. Guys, this is a trade recap, so pay attention. I'll do your homework for you right here. Exactly why I got in. So you see what I marked? 50% and my green zone. Now, the next bar I noticed opened ignited red, bearish. pushing down, came all the way down in there. I never had a pending order in here, Tony. I never bought that wick, okay? I was just saying for traders that have pending orders, if you had just identified that area, you could have got filled and you would have been in profit on the way back up. Next candle, I saw it open. If you guys remember, it opened up bearish, ignited. One more time, it came back down, it came back down, it came back down. I saw, Tony, it made a higher low right above the green box. So I see that this block is holding. As soon as it started coming right back up, Tony, this candle flipped into a hammer. And as soon as it flipped blue, I bought. I remember I bought right here. As soon as it flipped blue, I bought, and I gave myself more breathing room on the stop loss. I placed it bigger than I normally do, below the lowest point of the day, because there was more volume and news in the market, okay? And then next thing was, it went up there. I was in profit up there, 50 pips, but it got that tweezer top highs, and it came right back down. I did not change that green box to, no, it was red. I didn't change it until the next bar. Then we opened bullish ignited, and it continued to push up. It filled, it got pushed back down, but we held that inverted open and we continued to fill. And then when it broke there, when it went up 70 pips, that's when I took out 80% when we broke those highs, and I took my stop loss and I brought it. I didn't bring it directly to break even yet. I put it right in this green block, right below these lows. And then as soon as it came up, you guys see, to that highest point of the day, they brought it all the way back down. I only had 20% running. Then I went to break even. I got stopped at break even, but right now it could be coming right back up. It's making a higher low, still holding this box. So that was the trade recap, guys. If we're good on that, hit the likes so I know that you guys understood why I bought in, where I bought in, why I waited for the news, and we netted ourselves a good trade. Okay, so it's 9 right now. I'm going to get off gold. We're going to now do US 30 and NASDAQ and get ready for Wall Street in the next 30 minutes. So if you're continuing to trade this, can maybe want to clean up your charts a little bit, focus on the bigger zones. It's up to you, whatever you guys are doing. Okay, I'm out of this. Made some money. Now it's off to new charting. Okay. Have we retraced all the way back down into 50% of the news candle on NASDAQ and US 30? No, we have not yet. So will it come down there? Possibly. Or it will just maybe make a higher low and continue driving. Okay. So let's start off on the daily on US 30. Let's see how things are moving. I'm going to talk fast. Okay, guys. So drink some coffee so you guys can listen to me, because I do talk fast. Okay. If I go to the 1 minutes, I talk very, very fast, okay? So that's why I don't do a lot of 1 minutes, because I talk too fast and a lot of traders cannot keep up with me, okay? You got to become very automatic as a trader. You're going to know exactly what to look for, okay? You're going to know, like right now, how I'm doing this red box. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I can do this with one eye closed because I do this every single day. It came up here, okay? Look at the dates. Early December. And that was a previous all-time high for US 30, and it came back down. Came in again early February of this year, back down. 2 tops, M, okay? Came up, back down, came up, back down. Now we come back into the future. That's why I always say extend this zone into the future. There we came in a third time, back down. Here we broke, we created a new all-time high, but since then, pushing right back down. Now look at the daily bars. We're consolidating. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Yes, both sides are accumulating. We might come right back up and test this all-time high supply, or sellers will bring it back down. Okay, so right now, stretch that zone into the future. Will we ever come back up here? Possibly. Do we have an all-time high that we can at least talk about? Yeah, it's right there. Let's create an orange line. All-time high is 45,155. Can we talk about the date we hit it? Yes, July 28th, Monday to start the week. We hit it up there, okay? Is there a most recent low from the all-time high? Yeah, right over there. What is the date? Friday, August 1st. That's a very familiar date. That's the first Friday of the month. That's NFP. So US 30 during NFP dropped all the way down there. And since then, over the weekend, Friday, Monday, with that big bullish engulfing candle. And look at the retest of 50% of that big bullish candle right there. We're still holding the support, but it's barcoding now. It's going bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and it's continuing to build. Both sides are building. Will we continue to break out of here this week, or are sellers going to bring it back down for maybe a double bottom down in here? Okay, there's points of interest as well, but we also have supporting levels that we got to look for. Where are the key support levels that I've been looking for on this? Were these tweezer bottom lows, these pullbacks and equal lows. So right there, I was looking at this zone all the way from when it happened, when they started it. Okay, so there you can see it's holding support. We came in there, back up, came in there, back up. I didn't just draw this green zone today. I've drawn this on this day, on January 27th, when I saw it come down again in there on February 3rd. So it came in there, then I continue with that zone. And you see that bearish bar close below? That's when I go green to red. And then you can see it came in there multiple times, back down, came in there, back down, came in there, big aggressive candle pushed down, and there's the sell-off in the market. Now, if you continue with that same zone, look, I'm stretching in the future. There was no trading all the way through April, through May, because we were trading below here. So that's a block in the market above us right here. We did tap into it right over here. End of June, early July. Is the volume above us right now? Yes. So that same zone, go green and stretch it into the future. Look how it is slowly, lower low, lower high, lower low, dropped right in there. And what were the results? Filled that zone, got those pending orders, and right back took us to all-time high. Since then, we've been coming all the way right back down, stretch the same zone. Look at it now. So we had that false breakout during NFP Friday. It got gobbled and engulfed right back up the next Monday. And look at how we're trading. It's trading. It traded right back in there. Got a wick coming back up. The volume is still above here. It's still building. So you can technically see we're still trading in that green block. It's still holding. Do we have daily points of interest? Yeah, look at these daily candles, how they're all clumped together. You can see a body close, body open, a wick. You can even go a little lower. You can go somewhere in here. What I would do is, where do you get more body touches? You can look in the past. You can look at it right now. Let's just put a yellow line, okay? Just right there. And this is the line where we're going to figure out where's the best place to put this. I can put it right there. I'll get a body to body, a couple wicks right there, bodies in here. I could go a little higher to that body and that body. I get that wick and that wick. How about if I go from this big bearish engulfing candle right here on July 31st and figure out where exactly half of it is right there? I don't want to guess. Let's grab our Fibonacci tool. We go from the open of that bar to the closing price. There's 50%. Ron smoked a couple joints this morning. See how he's off? Okay, so now what I do is come exactly right to 50%, 0.5, 44,325. Nice auction number, 325, 350, 375, 400, 425, 450. We can do an auction here, online auction. Do we want to find a nice bearish, fair, I don't even call it fair value, point of control. Okay, point of control sounds better than just a fair value gap. What the hell is a fair value gap? Point of control. This is where the sellers are controlling this volume. Now I can see when it came in there, back down. It came in here, back down. We impulsively broke through this. What were the results on the close of the candle? Look at where it closed, all the way down there. Again, we traded in here, and look at the results. Rejection, rejection. So this red zone is still holding. Stretch that into the future, get rid of your Fibonacci tool, and let's continue cooking here. Okay, so you see the red block is still holding. It's not as strong as this big red block above us, but this is like that one we're watching. So if these were 5-minute candles, you see it's just going bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. I would be, if I was a 5-minute trader, I would say, guys, let's not trade this shit. What we got to do is we got to continue to wait for consolidation. That's what's happening on multi-days here. Are the buyers going to actually close it above there? I see a lot of impulse, but no follow through. Will they break it through here, close? Maybe we invert this. Maybe that might be a green box. We fill that wick and we're trading back up to there. Okay. Or sellers are accumulating in here. Will they break it below this green zone? We flip it. If it closes below there, it's red. Then we could be trading all the way back down to there. Okay. Right now, we're just consolidating inside of here. So if you're want to just trap that volume, you could do something like this and just trap it. Again, look at how it's trading. Is this good trading volume? Or to me, this is the worst trading volume. It's just both sides are accumulating, right? And there's no direction right now. We got to figure out what will happen up here or down here. We can still trade this today, but we got to dissect this daily candle and figure out what's going on. Okay. So you guys understand the way how I have my chart set up now on the daily of US 30. I still see the all-time high. This red zone is still holding. This is a lower high, but we still have these higher lows. So we're in this pennant right now. It can go either direction. Pennants can either go to the upside or to the downside, depending where the volume closes. Okay. This daily candle is going to be closed in another 8 hours. I don't have 8 hours to sit and watch this candle. So what I got to do is I got to break it down. 4 hour. Now I can see 4 hours how it's coming up in this consolidated phase. Monday, we came right back down during kind of the future session, and going into Europe, we were kind of consolidating on the 4 hours. We had this big push now due to the news, but is this 4 hour candle that's going to close in 49 minutes? Is it going to close up back near the high in this red zone? Are the sellers going to reject it back down? Do we have any maybe points of interest on the 4 hour candles? But I'll look more on the hourly. Okay, so if you're looking at the 4 hour candles, you see how it came down. You can visually see a big bottom right there. This is our neckline. All of this shit, that was a false breakout, but the red box is our neckline. So you see how it came back down here and here. It didn't come back down for a double bottom. This is back in this green block. It's holding a higher low. So technically we're trying to make our way back up, but we're struggling to break through this red zone. Okay, so if you see a 4 hour candle breakout, similar like this, and close above, look for a retest and look to see if it will continue to go up. But also false breakouts, fake outs, could break out like that, come back in the red zone, close there, and then start dropping right back down. Just like that. That was a fake out and dropped. There was no support to continue to go up. So let's break down the 4 hours to the 1 hour here. Now you start to see big drop right there on Thursday, coming right back up. They brought it right back down. There's that big bullish candle right now, 8 a.m. because CPI. But look at right here where the previous neckline was on the hourly. How can we not identify this level? Okay. I'm going to place a white line. I do this for hourly. I can place it right at the high of those wicks, wick, body. I see I cut through some bodies right over there. I could bring it down to the bodies right there. I'm going to keep it with the wicks, but more importantly, what I'll do is I see that big bullish candle. Let's find 50% of that big hourly candle that just closed from the opening price to the closing price. I could go now with the white line right to 50% right there. Okay. See how now my white line lines up with 50% of that volume. And now let's find the point of control in case we pull back for some good buys today. Go backwards. You can see how it was kind of trading in there, back down. Now we're trading with that candle above it. So that's a green hourly zone right now. Okay. So we could look for pullback buys in this green zone today on the lower time frames. However, this bigger green zone is much stronger than this one. This one is just representing the news that just happened. Okay, it's almost came right back in there, but has not transacted back inside here. Do we have some hourly resistance right now? Yeah, because you can see we pushed right there up on that news, we closed, and this hour it's coming right back down. You can see how this line was acting as support over there. It was acting as support over there. As soon as this bar closed below yesterday at 9 a.m., you see how it was acting as resistance and pushing down. You remember we took the Dow sell yesterday. We were part of that volume coming down. Now you see how it's acting as resistance right now, okay? So we got to see in Wall Street, will we get some volume closing above here to continue breakout? If not, we might be coming back down to retest this green box. Maybe it might not hold and we come back down into here. I would always look at 50% of this big green zone. Okay, there it is. That's half. And look at how it's a body. Last time we traded in there, okay? So now from the 1 hour, I go to the 5 minutes. Here's our scalping candles. This is what we look at. This is how the range was prior to the news. News had a nice little double bottom on the 5 minutes. It kind of built out, making those higher highs and higher lows. They released the news, big pump right through there. It continued, ignited, next bar, make a new high, pull back, again ignited, continued to fill then that's the highest point of the day. And since then, pushing right back down. So let's see if it comes all the way down. I'm going to place an alert right at that white line. Maybe, I missed out on this because I was in the gold buy, but now maybe I could get a retracement coming in there and I could buy it back up with all those pending orders in the market, right? So allowing the trade naturally to come to me, okay? So that's US 30, daily bar indicator. We opened right here. So we have our opening price, yellow line. We have our lowest point of the day. When do we hit it? Right over here at when the market's open at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so that's our lowest point of the day, purple line. We came back to the opening price. We have this big bullish push with the news, CPI. We made the highest point of the day right now, right there. Okay, purple line. And since then, we're getting rejected. You can see the 5-minute candles coming back down. Back, let's see, into our point of control. Maybe we'll see maybe a swing back up. We could be looking to buy this, okay? Maybe it breaks down during Wall Street and we could sell below there. But if I'm going with the daily volume, it's still bullish. So that's maybe where we look for pullback buys on US 30, okay? Adding EMAs, 9, we're right below it right now. 200, you see the 200 could be creeping its way back into this green zone, and that might give us also confirmation bias to look for some pullback buys in there, okay? If it does break, maybe we'll get held up at that 200. Maybe just wick down there, catch a wick and go back up, okay? So that's US 30. It's 9:16, so I got to go a little faster on NASDAQ. We'll leave US 30 on the left. Let's just see what gold is doing. So gold okay, so it closed below there. Did you guys change that green to red? Continue pushing down. There's that block right there. Okay, so we're trading right back in that block. Extend that block into the future. Okay, so it's trading right back in. But we got resistance. Okay, so continue watching gold, guys. Same with the US dollar. It kind of closed above there, the DXY. So that could be a green block now. And we'll see if it continues to gain some support to come back up. Okay, for Wall Street, right? And then back to NASDAQ. Okay, so let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is more tech related, okay? So Trump is talking about 100% tariff on some chip companies. So keep that in mind when you're trading NASDAQ because NASDAQ is a lot of tech and it's tech sector, tech indices. So if tariffs can disrupt the flow of everything, how it's moving. There was a previous all-time high right there. Okay, and then when we came in there, double top all-time high, red zone, stretch it into the future. Looks a little different than US 30. We did close above it, and we've been pushing quite some time on NASDAQ. Higher high, higher low. New higher high. Okay, so that zone, you see, we're nowhere near 22,000. When the most recent pullback was right here. Another minor zone you can have is right here. See all those wicks come down, back up, come down, back up, come down, back up, come down, back up, stretching in there. Again, we had that big 2-day sell-off right in there and kind of pushed right back up. So that block is holding higher, higher low. Okay. Now we are trading again near the all-time high. We already have an all-time high wick. We can see it. So if I bring it down to those two bodies and I make it red, and I stretch it into the future, I can see we are barcoding in that red all-time high supply. And buyers could squeeze sellers through here, okay? I'm waiting to see if a bearish bar, I was thinking that there could have been a sell-off today. The way how we closed yesterday, if we opened there, we didn't even break yesterday's low. CPI saved it because it looked like it was going to start to come down. It could come down today. We got to watch this. And going into tomorrow, we should be very active watching this. Okay, do we have an all-time high? Yeah. Did we just break it or hit it today? I think we broke it. I think today we got a new all-time high. Let's see. Yeah, it peaked its head up there. 737, new all-time high. Okay, so technically it is a new higher high, new all-time high, and they've rejected it down. Okay, is there some points of interest? There was a bar that closed. There was a bar that opened. This is where we're trading at right now. Let's place a yellow line right here, okay? Because this could be an interesting point today. The volume is currently below here. Now let's just go with what else do we see, okay? This was a pretty important move. with that big bullish candle that closed above. We've already came into the point of control 50%. I can see it holding there. So there is a yellow line, should be a yellow line right there. You can see the body close holding. If you get your measuring tool, open, close, measure it, you'll know that that's a point of control. This bullish candle closed above, and this is another important candle. Make sure you know where 50% of that candle is. Did we pull back into it? No, we pulled back on this day, August 7, and it made a higher low and continued to drive back up. Okay, so these could be good supporting levels below us if we continue push down. Here's another one. This one was a body to body. Look how it represents 50% of that bearish candle. And now we got volume closing above. So it turns that level from resistance into support. So you see this line, 380, could act as support. This line, 158, could act as support. This line down here, just below 23,000, could act as support. Then we get to our block down in here. Okay. Now let's just run today's candle. Okay, so yesterday you saw we broke out. It came back down into here, closed. A little bit of bearish volume. Didn't create new lower lows. We opened now right where we closed. Okay, so I'm going to have a yellow line right there just to show you where we closed and where we opened. Today when we opened, it was initially bearish. Okay, but look at how they protected it from continuing to break down. Look at today's purple line low. It's just a couple pips above yesterday's high. So it's technically a higher low. And what was the response? It came back up to the original opening position, big bullish volume that came up, and we were engulfing yesterday's sellers. We did continue to break out for above yesterday's high. And we also created a new all-time high today. Right up there. Okay, so we created a new all-time high, and since then it's gotten rejected, but we're barcoding bullish, bearish, bullish. Can we identify 50% of today's current volume just right now to see maybe if we'll hold? I know it's moving. It's a moving candle. Got to multitask. There's 50% of current volume. So that will be maybe support. If the sellers push this buyers down, maybe we'll find support right there at 23,600. Maybe the buyers will bring it right back up. If we lose this point of interest, 50% of the current volume, then sellers could possibly continue to engulf the rest of the bullish body and then flip it and break down, and we're selling off. Okay, so that's how we're moving right now. This could be considered a big double top in the making, where we drove up there, one top, came back down. There's the big neckline, the green block. We're coming all the way back up. Technically, this is called a double top, but we need volume to maybe close below here, maybe come back and retest this, and maybe this week we'll have the NASDAQ selling back down, okay? But right now I can't say that because there's still a lot of bullish volume asking to trade near the all-time highs. So we'll wait for this bar to close in less than 8 hours to determine where it closes. Now, I don't want to sit here and watch 8 hours of a daily bar. So let's go again to the 4 hours. Okay. 4 hour trading nice, big bearish move, come back up to about 50% retracement of that big bearish leg. You can put your Fibonacci from this high to that low, and it would have gave you the retracement values, and it came in there, back down, higher low, continue push up, higher high, back down, higher low, continue to drive for a new higher high, and most of the volume today was just right now during CPI, that first release, okay? Because you can see how the 4 hour candles were just consolidating leading into CPI. We just had that big news breakout, all-time high, and so far they're rejecting it back down. So if we lose this bullish volume today, you could see how the market could sell off, okay? But right now it's still holding, okay? So on the 1 hour, there it is. Like you see how shitty it was trading, just consolidating prior to the news. Remember what I was telling you? Buyers are accumulating, the sellers are accumulating. That big bullish news on those traders that were accumulating sells, they probably got liquidated. Okay, they were selling in anticipation that NASDAQ would sell off, and it was a big bullish news candle, okay, which created the all-time high coming back down. If I'm just looking at 50% of that bullish hourly candle now, okay, so opening, closing, and I'm going to place a white line because a white line represents hourly on my chart right there. That's hourly 50% of that news candle. If I find now the point of control of that news candle right there, okay, and someone's going to say, Ron, you've been smoking a lot of weed. Why do you have a green zone inside a red zone? And it's a valid question. I'll explain to you. This red zone is coming from a higher time frame. Remember, from the daily, from the monthly, the weekly. This green zone is just representing the last hourly news candle. Okay, so I place more weight obviously on the red zone, but I still got to respect those buyers that stepped in on today's, because they're the ones that moved the candle, not this. They moved it. So if it comes back in here, I have to short term respect that maybe it will come back up. And if it gets rejected back down and we lose this, for example, if it comes in here, next hour it comes back up and then closes below here, that's a red zone now within the bigger red zone. So that would strengthen my sell bias, right? But we got to figure out what's going to happen in this point of control during Wall Street market open. So far it's still holding bullish from the news candle, but we're trading an all-time high supply, okay? Now on the 5 minutes, you see the big bullish news candle. We've retraced almost all the way back down. So you know when there's those pullbacks and you get ants in your pants and you want to buy those all-time highs? I tell you, sit back, relax. The market might eventually come right back down to you where you didn't have to buy that all-time high. Someone bought that, top of that wick. They're sitting there with the all-time high and they're in drawdown now, scratching their head down over 100 pips. Will it come back to them? I don't know. Because you got structure now behind you. So if you wanted to buy, now you're getting a 100 pip discount. Why are you not considering buying now? You know what I mean? So let the market come to you. Patience, discipline. If yes, you miss out on trade, who gives a shit? Just patiently wait for it to come back to you. Maybe it will come back down. How long did it take to come back down? Okay, there was the breakout from that highest point. It took 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour, it will be back down in here. No problem. I'll wait an hour to take a trade with possibly minimal to zero drawdown and get some pips. No problem. I'll wait all day if I have to. If that's what I got to do to get paid in these markets, I'll figure out a way how to patiently wait for it to come to me. And I'm also mature enough to understand that, yes, it might not come down to me. It might continue to, it could have just pulled back right there and continued to drive. But then you got to follow other candles, the structure they built, okay? No one's saying to you that every single move is going to retrace right back down to the point of control. No, but you got to be ready if it does, okay? So that's what's going on right now on NASDAQ. There's our daily bar indicator, opening price, lowest point of the day, right there, 140 prior to pre-London. And we had that nice big bullish volume, considerable. The volume was all because of the CPI news. That's where we hit the highest point of the day, which was the all-time high. And you can see the wick is represented by these 5-minute pullback coming right back down into the green zone. Now, Wall Street is going to open up in the next couple minutes, okay? So we got to get ready. We're going to get another injection of big liquidity in the market, okay? It could cut through these zones like butter, okay? Because it's big volume coming in the markets, okay? So we have US 30 on the left. We have NASDAQ on the right. We have, 2.5 minutes to go for Wall Street market open, okay? So I got to get off gold now because I just traded gold. So I got to look at my US 30 and NASDAQ. It's a completely different index, completely different security. So my sizing, I have to change it right now. Change my lot sizing and get ready, guys, okay? And again, have rules. Are you going to trade the first 10 seconds when market opens? It could open with a big bullish candle. It could open with a big bearish candle. It could come down bearish for 10 seconds, get a wick and go right back up. Have rules. Are you waiting for the first 1 minute candle? Are you waiting for the first 5-minute candle? Some of you guys might be waiting for the first 15-minute candle. Some of you guys are waiting for 10 a.m. to start your trading. Everybody's different here, okay? Everybody is going to be different. All we can do as a team is manage our risk. I'll be managing my risk as you should be too. I made some money on that gold trade. Do I want to now risk my entire gold profit on trading Wall Street right now? Some traders do that and they try to double up their account, triple. That's fine. If that's your strategy, go with it. I'm not here to tell you not to do that. That's not my strategy. My strategy is sitting in this chair for 3 hours. I want to make some money. I've already made some money now. Do I want to give it all right back to the market? Obviously, I'd like to make a little more, but I can still do it by not risking my entire gold profit. I can maybe now risk 25% of my gold profit And if I lose that, I can still walk away from the markets knowing I made some money and I got to try it again tomorrow. Okay. Everyone is different. I understand that. And guys, let's get 300 likes on YouTube. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, because I'm telling you, come September, you're going to see a lot more live sessions, different times. I'll be doing some live Londons for European traders. I'll be doing some Tokyo sessions, some education sessions for our late night traders in the Asian markets. And we'll do New York and post New York. Okay, so here we go. Here's market open. Some weed stocks are moving to all-time highs right now. Thank you to Donald Trump. Wow, Tilray Brands is up 20% right now. Holy shit. Okay, Donald Trump, thank you for listening to us. Hopefully we can teach you what tariffs are. Okay, so far we got a bullish candle opening on US 30, a bullish candle that opened on NASDAQ. First 30 seconds here. I'm waiting for the first 5 minutes to close. Okay, just putting it out there. Okay, so remember this white line is hourly resistance right below our daily high. Okay, so that 5 minute candle came up, got rejected, coming back down. Will we come back and actually come into the green zone in here? Same with NASDAQ. You kind of have a spin top candle. It is filling up now. Dave is teasing me right now. It says, Ron, you got an afro. It's just, my hair is curly. It's not an afro. Dave is jealous of my hair. Dave is jealous. We got to get Dave some hair. Majestic hair, Tony. Pips for plugs. Oh man, you guys are too funny. Vinita, Turkey time. I went to Kosovo. I went to Albania. We went to Turkey for vacation, but no plugs there. Okay, guys, we got to concentrate here. Stop concentrating on my beautiful, majestic hair here. We gotta concentrate on these candles. Oh, I don't know if I could do that, Tammy. Shave my beard. It's been years since I shaved my beard. I think I was a teenager. If we get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll shave my beard live for you guys. Okay, good bullish candle. Okay, so you see that pullback held the top of the green zone. The best execution would have been right at 50%. So far it's holding. Okay, just pattern wise, pay attention to the patterns. Okay, so we did come up nicely with that news to the highest point of the day. We did retrace back down. We are holding, so we are coming back up, but will it hold up here at this hourly white line, be a lower high and come back down? Are we going to get a double top? Are they going to bring it down there? Or are we actually going to get a new breakout? Okay, so that I'm just following the volume, right? This candle is going to close in 1 minute 20. Will it close above this white line? Will it maybe come near the highest point of the day? Will they drop it when it gets up there? Or are we just going to continue to break out of here? Okay, and NASDAQ came in there. So good response out of Wall Street in that block. Okay, so far it's holding. Still holding that bullish block. Okay, maybe we can buy a pullback. Is anyone in a buy right now on either one of these? Okay, we're closing in 25 seconds. Congratulations on anyone in the SST Discord for the signals right over here real quick on US 30. If you guys took it, congrats guys, right there. So prior to the news, okay, built right there. No, it was a breakout, but you know, if you're following the signals, that one worked out really, really well. Okay, so let's watch the close here. There's the close. So it did close above that hourly white line. So if it comes down, it could initially test that as support. If we're figuring out where 50% of that bullish candle is, it's got to be somewhere like right there. Same with NASDAQ. Okay, if you're waiting for a pullback, right, it could pull back into 50% of the candle, but better pullback would be at the daily line or the green box, but maybe it wants to continue to move. Okay, so let's see. There's the first pullback to the white line for US 30. Let's see if that holds as support, maybe flip the candle, but you're approaching that daily high. Okay, so it's not easy to take a buy on that second leg that's hitting the daily high. But it could definitely build with Wall Street and break out of there for a new high. Okay, so let's see. So far, it's holding support right there. Okay, and look at where my cursor is. It's right at those high wicks to see if it will break for a new high. If it's still below my cursor, then it might come back down. Okay, still holding, spin top, building. Could be just a slow build and ready to break out. Now you see how it came up bullish. Okay, so get ready. Now it's going back down, refueling. This could be the move where it breaks out of here. I'm going to go in a buy now to see if it can break the daily high, that purple line. That's not the trade I'm looking for, but I want to see if it will break and come up to trade rate to 50%, that yellow line. My stop loss, I could do a really, really tight stop loss in Wall Street. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a tight stop loss. I'm just below 50% of that red line. Okay, so I'm looking for this candle to basically build its way out of there and maybe get up to there. Okay, it's 70 pip measurement to get it all the way up there. Okay, I'm in a tight stop right there. So if it just comes down, breaks that 50% of that previous Wall Street 5-minute candle, I'm stopped out. Okay, I'm not even considering placing my stop loss below the green box. I'm giving it just a tight. I want to see if this candle can build maybe the next one and just get me up there where I want to go. Okay, and then if it stops me out, I get stopped out of that. Again, I don't want to give away too much of my profit from the gold trade. So I want to see if we can continue to break out of here, get that, squeeze those short sellers right there who are trying to short the highest point of the day. Okay, but we still have a spin top, so maybe we have a little bit of consolidation, maybe a little flag right here. If it can flag right here without breaking down, I'm okay with that. But I don't think it's going to flag here, especially with Wall Street's volume. Okay, so we got a nice hammer candle breaking for a new high, but let's see if it can fill up to that purple line. Remember, filling up to the purple line is, I think, what was the measurement? 20 pips? 25 to the purple line. So if we can get right back to the previous daily high, it's 25 pips. Okay, that's where, me at a tight stop loss could potentially reduce my risk. But this candle is closing at 143. Can we break the purple line, maybe get some volume close above there? Maybe we'll get an ignited bar continuing to squeeze through here. Okay, so I'm waiting for this bar to close. We still have not taken out that purple line yet. Let's see. Remember, up to the purple line is 25 pips from where I entered. Okay, it's 20 pips right now in profit. Some scalpers are already out and saying, thank you, Ron. Other traders are still holding. I'm still holding this. You define what type of trader you are. If I was scalping the 1 minutes, I probably would have been in and out right now, but I'm following this 5-minute bar. 60 seconds to go. NASDAQ got a perfect retest there at that red line, 50%. Okay. Let's see if US 30 can build with this. Can we take out the high of the day with Wall Street? If we look at the 15-minute, because we're going to get a 15-minute candle, look at the 15-minute volume. Just, oh man, we're so close to breaking that high of the day. Look at the daily candle. We're just like 13 points away from breaking that. Man. Amazing. Wow. iPad, is that you, Mohammed? 1.6% for the day. Perfect. Perfect day, brother. Pack it up, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's a good daily goal, 1.6%. Habibi Mohammed, I know you now. Good job, bro. Okay, so we did close with some bullish volume above, okay? So it could retest, even 50% retest, the consolidated zone we're having. We picked up our higher low. Can we just backfill these small, tiny wicks with Wall Street's volume, get up 25 pips and break out? If they're holding it down, then we could get that reversal leg, like how we saw it on gold, okay? Even NASDAQ is approaching that all-time high double top, okay? So we got rejected coming back down. Will it stay inside this bullish zone right here, this consolidated bullish zone? Okay, can we catch a wick somewhere in here? Camila, how do scalpers who are happy with 20 pips managing their risk? Tight stop loss. So when you're scalping, you're looking for, like how I had zero drawdown, go up 20 pips. You could just be placing your stop loss below the previous low, right? And then as it's moving up 20 pips, you could go to a break even. But you've got to understand, you're looking for 15, 20 pips, so your stop loss has to be tighter, okay? But you're looking for precision entries, okay? That's why you got to... guys, we got a perfect pullback right into 50% of that green box. Let's see now if we can build our way back up. Ask to trade. It's not easy to break daily highs. I'm telling you, it's not easy. But when it does break, it could be a nice squeeze. Oh man, we came back up there. They rejected it back down. So let's see if the candle can continue to build this green zone. NASDAQ is building nicely for that potential breakout up here. How often do they take losses? Well, some scalpers take more losses than other scalpers. Some scalpers don't take many losses. It's all about precision entries and knowing what to do when you go up 15, 20 pips. Scalpers do have a lot of break-evens, I'll tell you that. So when the market can't break like the daily high, what they might do is come down for liquidity. And then that's where they come down. They'll take out all pending orders down in here, like my stop losses right there. For example, I'm liquidity. If I get taken out, they come gather all the liquidity, then maybe move it back up. I'm hoping that they have enough to just break the daily high, but I see this big bearish candle coming down, still has a higher low. We still haven't transacted into 50% of this bullish candle. The 9 EMA is waiting there. So I'm hoping all of this can build, asking to trade right near the highest point of the day and break out without even coming down. I'd like to break the highest point of the day and then they come down for liquidity, because then by then I'm in profit and I'm taking out some money out of the market. Okay, so it's building its way back up with 2 minutes to go. Let's see where it will close. NASDAQ is attempting to break that daily point of interest, and that's the all-time high, that orange line right there. Okay, so NASDAQ is performing fantastically. Look at that pullback at 50%. So if you waited for that 930 candle to close, there's your pullback, patient pullback, and you're in the money. US 30 is still stalling right here. Can't get that. Man, holy, they're really holding it down. And then sometimes you'll see a big bearish candle elevator it down to clear the board and then pick it right back up. Okay, so far now it's bearish coming down with 1 minute left. Will it take out the previous low? Looks like it. So we're now testing 50% of that big bullish candle from 930. This is US 30's 930 test. NASDAQ has already retested. US 30 has not. So let's see, will it get a higher low? Will it test exactly that red line? And that's where the 9 EMA is. Hopefully right there we get a wick. I'm in drawdown right now. Okay, there's the retest right there. Red line, 9 EMA, and my stop is just right below there. So if they cut through there and I don't get the support right there, I'm out of this trade. Okay, I'm out. So I got stopped out of that. See, I was trying to get that daily high break. They protected it. Now they come all the way down. Now it's transacting right through there. That's what I was saying. Elevator coming down if they cannot break above there. Now they broke everything, all structure. Look at where they came right down into. 50% of that green zone, the white line, they picked up those orders. Now will it come back up? Okay, if it comes back up strong, could get that move. But now we got two tops coming down. If it breaks this block, look for sells below there the rest of the day. If we lose this green block on US 30, look for sells. Look at how the M pattern looks. 1, there's the neckline. 2, couldn't break that highest point of the day. Couldn't get it. Coming back down, trading in here. If this thing breaks, could get that significant sell later today. Gold is going crazy. Yeah, gold came right back down. Okay, so to the bigger zone, came all the way back down. Big bullish candle, flipped that red to green. Right there for gold, red to green. Look at how they dipped the US dollar down, gapped it down, pushing down. This is now red. So you might see some selling pressure today on US dollar. Markets are very volatile right now. Is there any news dropping at 9:45? What's going on right now? No, nothing. Okay, and when things are building like this, you can trade or you can wait. Okay, I want to see if this green box will continue to hold. Where's 50% of that big bearish candle? Right around there, 44,200. Can the buyers continue to bring it back up, close above there, maybe retest this? Or are we going to continue selling down? Okay, so there could be sellers right now, right there. So you see, guys, I was trading that one with a really tight stop loss. If I placed my stop loss below this green zone, I could technically still be in this trade. But I didn't want to risk that much. The buyers were not there. They were there, but they couldn't finish strong. You know, the buyers were there too on NASDAQ, but all-time high, lower high, pushing down. I'll try one more trade maybe before we wrap up this call. What caused gold to spike like that? I don't know. I don't know, but there's a lot of volatility. See, it's coming up, going back down. I don't like trading this type of price action. There's too much indecision. I rather just wait. Like gold is very difficult to trade. Look at that big bullish candle and then coming right back down bearish. So it's tough to trade right now. I would maybe avoid this right now. I would wait till like 10 a.m. Wait for things to settle down. And because we're trading at this highest point of the day, lots of volatility, I would hold off. Same, look at the US dollar, how erratic is trading, the DXY. I would be careful, okay? Big rejection, guys. Look at that, came right into 50% rejection, okay? I could look to sell this candle in the next 90 seconds. Let's see where we'll close. Look at NASDAQ, maybe break below there. There's your M pattern break. This could bleed out, guys. Okay, so it came right into there, 50%, rejected it back down. It's closing in 1 minute. Let's see, maybe we'll break through here and we'll see US 30 sell down. Efren, enjoy your day today. Enjoy your day. It's probably beautiful weather where you're at right now. Gold is crazy. Yeah, I'm not even looking at it. I'm looking at you. I'm staying with the indices right now. We traded gold early in the morning. But yeah, when it's trading crazy, if you see it's trading crazy, limit your risk and stay on the sidelines unless you're willing to trade all of that craziness. So remember, this green zone was just representing that news candle, okay? The bigger red zone is the all-time high supply, okay? So that's why it's red with this little green zone in here. We'll see if it closes below here. Then we'll flip this green zone red, okay? So it didn't close below there as of yet. This is where we're going to consolidate now on US 30. Right here, we can figure out. Okay, so it's a bearish candle coming down. Okay, well, it's still trading in the green zone. Higher low, higher low, higher low. NASDAQ has broken down. Let's see if NASDAQ will get some bearish volume closing below this green zone. Then flip the green zone red. You're in that all-time high selling supply zone. And maybe we could break for that daily low and drop today. Yeah, guys, gold, yeah, it was the big bullish candle at 940. They're retracing it back down. If you look at 50% still holding, look for, if you're looking to buy gold, look for more bullish volume to close above this green box, maybe to continue to drive up to that highest point of the day. But if it's continue to come down bearish, you're right near the lowest point of the day. I think there's not too much range in gold. That's why there's so much volatility within this. Kevin, what is that? Just in, President Trump says he is considering a major lawsuit against Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Trump is suing everyone. Does it even matter anymore? Everyone he's trying to sue. He reminds me of a big baby. He can say as much shit as he wants, but then if you say some shit about him, he's quick to with the lawsuit. He reminds me of Oprah. You know, when Oprah was giving giveaways, Trump is like, I'm suing you, I'm suing you, I'm suing you, I'm suing you. He's getting sued. I'll sue you. It's like a big baby. No one gives a shit. Gwendolyn, he's a big baby. He looks like a big toddler. I think he shit his pants the other day. He was wearing white pants and he had a stain on the back. Sorry to all the Trump lovers out there. I'm just talking facts here. Okay, so you still see we're holding. Okay, we broke down. See that 200 EMA? It's coming right back up. If we continue to close in that green box, we still got to give the benefit of doubt that it is in a demand zone, supporting zone from that news. Will it come back up, close above there? Maybe we can look for buys back up. But if it closes bearish below there, we might be looking for sells below there. And we're still consolidating in here with US 30 with 2 minutes to go. We're not too far off of 10 a.m. Okay, some traders maybe are waiting for 10 a.m. on the hourly. Okay, so there was that big news hourly candle, created the all-time high on NASDAQ, and we got an hourly candle that's coming back down, you know, trading right back in that green zone. Okay, same with US 30. I can see it came right into that green zone and going back up. So maybe we might see a little bit more consolidation. Unfortunately, I have to end the call soon. But if you're going to continue trading 10:30, 11, noon, just continue to follow this volume, right? You see this block is still holding for Dow. The block is, buyers are still asking to trade in there. Okay, so maybe we could see next move coming up. Let's see if we can close bullish above here, okay? If it closes bullish, we might be reattempting to take out that daily high again. I told you, there could be that elevator candle coming down, taking all the liquidity, which they did. They transacted into all of those pending orders. And I told you, I was trading with a tight stop loss. But if I kept my stop loss below the green zone, I could still be in this trade, right? But now I can follow it. Yeah, I took a loss, but I could still follow the volume now. Because if we lost this green zone, could have been really selling off to the lowest point of the day. So far, holding still. Let's watch the closing volume with 40 seconds to go, and then we're moving into 10 a.m. in the next 5 minutes. Same with NASDAQ, guys. If we've got a nice wick pushing in there, maybe if it builds above that white line, you know you're above the hourly support. Maybe you'll get one more push leg coming back up. I'm watching US 30, guys. Just watching my spreads. I like the way how US 30 is moving here. Here's the close in 10 seconds. So let's assume it's going to close above this red zone. So quickly, I'm just moving it green. Okay. We've came out of that consolidated area. We're closing right at that white hourly line. So it's ignited bearish. Look, as soon as this flips, there's no wick. So it could definitely continue to drive up. So let's see. There's the flip. Okay, blue. I'm going to go in a buy. Okay, it flipped. I'm going to try one more attempt to take out that highest point of the day and get up there. Again, I could go a tight stop loss just below that block. I'm going to go in the green zone now, just below the green zone. I could even go right below that 200 EMA. Now I have hourly support. I got green block support. I have 200 EMA support. So then I'm looking for a bigger breakout then. If I'm giving it that room to breathe, I'm looking for a bigger move, okay? So let's just measure back up to that purple high. Could be, now we're buying in a little right here, so that could be about 50 pips. If I get it to that purple line without encountering too much drawdown, that's where I could possibly reduce my risk. But if it can break that purple line now by grabbing liquidity below us, then maybe we can trade to that yellow line. That could be approximately 90 to 100 pips up there. So, excuse me. So I'm going to try this one more time, and this will be my final trade of this session. I really want this US 30 to break this daily high. Even just a break, because you can cause a short squeeze. There's a lot of sellers up there that want to sell. So this is now an official retest of 50% of that big bullish candle. Okay, so it's a shooting star candle coming down. So I bought that where it popped. You know, sometimes you get that pop and you get that fill. Didn't get it. Lots of selling pressure still up there. So now we're retesting this 50% right here. And going into 10 a.m. as well. Okay, so things can flip on the hourly. Hopefully I'm still in this trade to get into that 1 hour. Okay, so 2.5 minutes to go. Lots of time left on this candle. Half the time. So far we traded right into that green zone. We're at that 9 EMA. Let's see if we can hold a little bit of support. Even if we can consolidate up here, might flag and then take us into 10 a.m. where we could get that breakout. And in this attempt, if we fail this attempt, then I know if I'm going to trade later, I'm going to have a selling bias because it's been 3 attempts that it cannot get into this high of the day. Then you can tell how strong the depth of market is up there and how strong the selling pressure is. Then I can easily flip my bias and turn into selling today. Just got to wait for this final candle to close. NASDAQ is pushing down. US 30 could follow, but let's see if we can get some higher low support. We're traded into right at that depth of market, right at that white line. Still holding. It's in a tough area. Okay, we're still kind of barcoding in here where it's bearish, going up bullish, coming back down bearish. I'm giving it more room to breathe than I did on the first trade. But we got to ultimately watch the close. Gold is being aggressive. Yeah, be careful with it. Okay, it's back below that green box. I would go red. Still in that consolidated zone. You guys are smart. Gold is not just going to trade in here all day. It's either going to try to break for that daily high, but it's got a lower high, might be pushing down, might take out the lowest point of the day, and we might see a push down. But right now it's too hard to say. It's still in that consolidated range. Let's see the close of the US 30. Okay, so we traded, transacted right back in that point of control. We got good point of control. Buyers were there, bringing it right back up, but we need follow through. We need a good close. If we still close bearish, we're going 10 a.m. Get ready. 10 a.m. is a critical hourly candle. It's a 4-hour candle on most securities as well. So you're going to see a significant volume spike coming in, regardless if there's news or no news. It's going to be a big hourly move. Okay, so I'm getting ready for it in the next 20 seconds. Maybe we can close bullish back up here. Maybe we'll get a bullish breakout at 10 a.m. We'll see. We're not too far away from that highest point of the day, but we got to close strong. Can we flip this candle into like a bullish pin bar with a little bit of bullish volume, take us into 10 a.m. with that momentum? Here we go. Here's the close. But markets work funny. They manipulate these things. Okay, so it's bearish, so we'll probably see a drop unless we can grab a quick move. Okay, so it's blue. Didn't fill yet. Close that green box for NASDAQ, I would go red. Okay, so if it comes back up, that could be the resistance. So here, can we get a little bit of a squeeze? We got this small little doji candle. Couldn't break. So it could be a clue, like right there, that it's not breaking. But as it comes down, will it respect this green zone again? Will it create a higher low? Will it continue to build and ask to trade up here? Or are sellers going to elevator this down, similar to NASDAQ? Okay. Remember, these are different securities. Okay. Tech is selling off. This is a different security over here, US 30. See if it can continue to build. We don't have that new higher high set yet. Come on. Okay, can we just flip and fill? Holy, they're really holding this 10 a.m. candle down. Okay, so we did create that higher high, but remember, I'm focusing on the purple line high. So we got a nice bullish candle coming in. Can we fill? Remember what I said to that purple high? That's approximately 50 pips. Okay. Can we get up there and break it? And then that's where you can ultimately reduce risk if it breaks, because there could be a big reaction there. Okay. But if we're following this, let's see if we can get volume. Yeah, there's the nice break. Okay. So we broke. That's about 60 pips. Okay. Can we close above here in the next 2.5 minutes to go? Okay, guys, that's 60 pips. You know, if you want to reduce a little bit of risk or take out, okay, these are big volume-based candles now. This is Wall Street. Okay, and then remember, if it gets up to that yellow line, it's about 90 pips up there from entry. I really don't like Trump. I don't like politicians that are full of shit, okay? That's across the board. I don't like politicians that are full of shit that continue lie and lie and lie. So I admit, I don't like Trump because he's full of shit. So he continues to lie and lie and lie. It doesn't have my respect. Okay, guys, 90 pips. I'm going to take out 80% up there. I recovered my loss and a little more. I'm taking out 80% and going to a break even. So that trade had the great, got to destination right there. Okay. Yes, it could go 100 pips, which it just did. But that was recovered my loss, made a little bit more. We broke that daily high. Let's watch closing volume now. I'm at break even for the remaining 20%. But that's why I like staying with a security, okay? If I was trading gold, I would have stayed with gold. But we transitioned over here. See how I stayed? I was on that original buy right there. But that candle, that liquidation candle, that's what I said, guys. They're coming down. They need, when you notice a clue that they can't break, then they need more volume. So naturally, they came right back down, and look at where they came into, right at 50% of that green zone, and then started to come right back up. That's when I bought right there, and now it's moving 100 pips, okay? They all lie, yes. So therefore, you get my point. All politicians are full of shit. So that's why I don't respect them, okay? So my Prime Minister Carney, he's full of shit too. Before him, Trudeau was full of shit. So I can go on and on and on. I could probably talk about your politicians in your country too. I'm sure that Putin is full of shit too. I'm sure that Netanyahu, he's full of shit too. He should be charged with war crimes. So we can continue talking about this. But if you want to support them, support them. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you. They're making billions of dollars while you're suffering. Okay, so we're making money here. So focus on this candle right now. This candle is moving 125 pips. Got another bullish ignited start with a little bit of a wick. Now you utilize this yellow line as a pullback area. So if it pulls back, will it gain some support? How many of you guys are already ahead of me and already marking 50% point of control of this big bullish candle we're in? So we can go like a hard white line right there, or you can go a green box, like however you like. Right there. So that's our point of control on this candle right now. Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys caught some pips. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys can hit the like button. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. Let's take a look at our live bullish engulfing. Oh yes, guys, 264. We're making a new higher high, all-time high on the likes. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so we appreciate that, guys. Thank you guys for all those likes, subscribing to the channel, hit the notifications. Let's do this again tomorrow morning. Guys, 135 pips could continue to break out, So I got a trailing 20%. Hopefully we can continue to move with this. Maybe runners can run. Maybe we can continue with this. Okay, guys? Again, if you're trading NASDAQ, it's below this red block. Let's see if the buyers can get it above there, convert that. Maybe NASDAQ might see a move, okay? But great session. We had a good reading the news today. We were patient, disciplined with gold. We waited. We caught a good trade with gold. We came back. We did some analysis on US 30 and NASDAQ. I took a second trade. I got stopped out, tighter stop loss, but kind of read what they were doing, came down, picked up in there, and then I just stayed with the volume, closed above there. I saw that retest of that block, closed in there. I went in a buy and in the money. So hopefully you guys had learned a lot. Guys, Dave should be starting up in a little bit. Guys, if you want to join the team, love to have you guys on the team. Let's just take a look at the signals here. If you guys want signals, trade ideas, we can help you guys out with that as well. There's the US 30 long and what's going on with gold. Gold is garbage. Let's wait till, and it's my same thing I would say about gold too. Gold is trash right now. So stay away from gold right now. You don't want to trade this. This will really frustrate you. Trust me. I know price action. This will really, you got to trade with extreme discipline. If you get in 20, 30, 40 pips, you got to know what to do. If you don't know what to do, you got buyers buying and sellers accumulating as well. So gold is tough. Look at how beautiful now, like US 30 and NASDAQ will get. Stick with indices at this time of the day. There we go, guys. 170 pips. Guys, mark up 200, like just a psychological level right up there. If this closes above, holy, BlackRock reached an all-time high, $1,145. So BlackRock is a big company. Guys, if this closes above this big red zone, make it green for pullbacks, okay? And if you want to join the team, guys, we'd love to have you guys join our free Telegram channel. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. It's right over here. We've got some promos going on for you guys, some news, trade recaps, some free blogs. And if you want to join the team, visit our website, guys. We'd love to have you, stocksnipertrading.com. Lots of education. Everything we talked about, all these pullbacks, zones, lines, retest candles, ignited bars, point of controls, support, resistance, supply, demand, psychology, risk management, all of this. Myself and Dave will take care of all the education for you guys. We'll continue to help you guys learn in the markets. And if you want those free blogs, they're available over here. Guys, read these blogs. They're interesting. You might learn something, okay? And that's it for me. Guys, have a break, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, 7 a.m. Eastern, sharp. Be here early. Early bird gets the worm, because that's when we start our top-down analysis, and we can learn how to do this together, okay? Thank you guys so much. Have a good day today. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the support on YouTube, subscribes and notifications, all of that. Thank you guys on Zoom. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow morning, midweek Wednesday. Let's see what the markets give us tomorrow. Thank you guys. Great risk management today. Hopefully you guys hit some goals, but more importantly, hopefully you guys learned something new today. Thank you. Have a good day. Nigel, have a great day. Thank you. Trayvon, take it easy. Tony, take care. Danielle, B, have a good day, guys. Christoph, take care. Have a good day. Sergio, thank you, guys. Jonathan, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.